Ladies, gents, and everyone under the sun, welcome back for another episode of the Container Podcast, episode 17. It's crazy. What's up,
Yeah,
my boys? Kyle, Jackie?
doing good, doing good. We weren't there last week, right? So,
Yeah, we missed a week, but we're back in full force, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yes, we have a big episode tonight, so I hope you guys are ready, because I think there's going to be a lot that we have to say.
Yeah, man, it's actually planned to be a podcast entirely dedicated to Devil May Cry 5. And that's a first. Usually we always have two topics, but since it's a video game that has a very strong history, it's the fifth game in the series and all, I wished that we could go into the origin, into a lot of the nitty-gritty about the details, some fun facts, some of the making of, some of the inspirations, and of course our detailed review of our experience mission by mission. So that was a great idea that Kyle brought up, if you remember.
The mission by mission?
No, to have like a document at bay that you would take notes on for your appreciation as you were watching or listening, or you were the first one to do that for.
Oh yeah, because I did it in the with the Daft Punk episode.
Exactly, and I think that inspired Jackie and I, right?
Oh yeah, for me for sure. I mean, when he started just going through his written thoughts in the document for every song, was like, yeah, that's a pretty good thing to do, because everything I had was by memory, and it wasn't always at hand. So I think it's a good thing to just write down in the moment what you're experiencing, so that when you have to review it in the podcast, it's a bit fresher than just when you're using only your memory.
Exactly. It's such a difference, right, to have them at your side, the notes, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a very, very fun one. Do you guys have any other small topics you wanted to discuss? The ones that happened this week or recently?
No, I don't have anything particularly that I'd like to speak of there. Well, and if we can maybe talk about that next week there. I think I might have some topics for next week.
Yeah, same. Because I think that we both are watching a series right now, and we really enjoy it. But we have to jump on yours, so we will talk about it as the homework at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Before then, Devil May Cry. So get your asses ready. It's gonna be huge. Devil May Cry 5, made by Capcom in 2019. It's a pretty recent game, as far as myself, who usually plays game that came out in 2004. I was very, very impressed by how it looked, how it sounded. It all felt really modern, right? So I don't know if you guys were particularly impressed by those aspects, or you are used to modern games.
Well, I think we're more used to modern games there than you there. We're more of a quote unquote I don't want to use the term, but more modern gamers, or not modern gamers, but we gravitate towards more modern games than, for example, you.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. I think that on this topic, Kyle and I, we share a lot of common traits compared to other topics. But yeah, I would say the same. We're more inclined to play what are called the mainstream games instead of more retro games. That would be more your style, I believe.
Yeah, it is. But have you played this game at launch?
No,
I did not.
play this game at launch. However, this is actually not my first Devil May Cry game.
What was your first one?
I played the 2013 version, but according to a lot of website and info, when I finished this game, I was informed that it was actually a trash game and that nobody in their right mind should ever play that game because it's not part. It shouldn't even be part of the canon or the Devil May Cry series because it doesn't do the series justice.
That's what most people would say, but I think that with time and with Devil May Cry 5, the people have chilled down on DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot. I also played that game. That was my first Devil May Cry, and I quite enjoyed that one, but Kyle and I played the 2013 reboot, DMC Devil May Cry.
So I played maybe half of it, not the full thing, because I think it was free one time on PlayStation Plus or some shit like that, and I had downloaded and played a bit, and
Ah, okay, I see. You see,
I didn't play though. I didn't finish it.
Okay. I got it through Humble Bundle on PC, and I played it, I finished it, and I liked it so much that I bought the Virgil DLC, and I played through that, and I really liked it too. And I never played the Devil May Cry since, like, very recently, right? Where we had that homework, and I played Devil May Cry 3 before playing 5. So this is my third Devil May Cry game, but my second true Devil May Cry game. What about you, Jackie?
So this was my first experience with the Devil May Cry franchise. Of course, I had heard of the game, and I saw some gameplay and I saw the trailers, and I knew that I knew about Devil May Cry 5 for the PS4, but apart from that, no, never touched one of the games.
Okay, so I think we can maybe go into the people that made the game, because if you guys remember well, in my little book that I took some notes, we had the prologue, right? Jackie, you said you didn't take any notes. Did you take any notes, Kyle?
No,
No?
I didn't.
So prologue, my thoughts in like real quick. Absolutely gorgeous graphic, shocking to me. I was bluffed. Nero controls like a charm, and the lead up to the boss was very, very easy, right? But the boss was surprisingly difficult. Like, I was like, yo, this is really hot for someone that's trying to learn the game, facing Urizen, like, and getting your ass stomped. It was really something that motivated me. I was like, yo, I'm gonna come back to this boss and I'm gonna beat his ass. But little did I know how many times we would face that boss. So that was my thoughts about the prologue, and then mission 1, right? Did you have any notes, Kyle?
Mission 1. I didn't take any notes actually through the.
Okay.
You see, you guys did. I didn't.
So mission 1, I'm gonna like
But it's
put
on
it
the
into
bridge, if I remember correctly.
context. Yep. So you have that girl, Nico, right? She's awesome. Her accent killed me. And then
It's debatable if she's awesome or not.
I didn't like Nico at all. I actually loaded her every time she was on screen. I really wanted to press the skip
button,
cutscene.
yo.
No, for real. I think out of all the characters, she was the one I hated the most.
Dang.
I could not stand. Well, there is one person that I hated more than. We'll get into it.
Let's go.
But yeah, I didn't like her. I hated her accent. It just looked. It looked like I was doing an accent, and I can't do accents for shit. I found it wasn't.
You thought it wasn't convincing.
It wasn't convincing, and I didn't really find her. I think she was more of like a comedic relief character.
Yeah.
And I didn't think she was funny at all.
Yo, I took notes on a lot of her jokes. When she was smoking in the car and Nero says, it smells like ass," and then she says, "That's you." I was like, what the fuck is that dialogue? I was not used to this in the video game,
No, she like I said, I was every time she was on screen, I was so tempted to just press skip cutscene and not see any more of her.
Oh, okay. What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I kind of share the same sentiment as Kyle. I really didn't like her character. I think she was just annoying me throughout the whole adventure. And at one point, the temptation was too high. I had to skip some cutscenes because when she was in them and she was
Oh,
speaking with that fake accent, it just felt so annoying that I had to skip. I
oh.
mean, she wouldn't shut up. She was always speaking with that. It's a fake accent. It's a freaking Japanese video game, and you have these characters that speak like people from s- down south in America. Like, what the fuck is this?
It is
What
what
are
it
you?
is. That's the thing, right? That's where she
Yeah,
comes
I
from.
guess, I guess. But
But
to
yeah,
me,
I
it was
understand. I understand. You guys felt it was not well executed and irritable.
Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't see the point. I didn't know. Maybe there's something in the story that we're missing, but I didn't see the point of her having that accent.
You see, it's just like when people were saying, I don't see the point of making Ellie a gay character.
You're going there right
I
now.
am going
Like
there right now.
you're going
So,
there right now.
so
You want to compare?
you guys are bigoted towards Southern people in the states. That's what I'm telling you guys.
No, not at all. Just, just fake accents of
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
No,
okay, okay. I'm not
it's
gonna give
it's
you that like it was undeserved. I can,
the nerve to have
I can
the
admit,
nerve to compare those two.
I
Oh
can
god,
admit,
it's
I
going
can
to be
admit.
a great podcast right now. Let's just wait 5 or 10 minutes. You'll see.
So the slow mo cutscene starts, right? And then, yo, I don't know, man. Like magic operated for me. I was like, yo, this game, it has absolutely no shame. It's 200% stylish and 100% action, right? I was like, okay, this is what I'm going into. What did you think about the opening cutscene?
um. If I remember, I'm trying to remember it.
So they're driving on the road, right? And then they're killing demons, and then she takes like a bump, and it starts being all slow mo, and he's shooting around, jumping around, and
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't mind that. That was actually cool. One thing that I did kind of enjoy was I did like there was sometimes these little cutscenes with where there was action, and I actually found them quite cool looking.
yeah,
Not all cutscenes I liked, but those I did enjoy because I always like me. I know Jackie in movies or whatnot doesn't like when there's fighting or not fighting but action scenes or stuff like that. I really like them, especially when they look cool. I
yeah,
find it sometimes it's just cool for the fuck of being cool.
exactly. It's like I said, it's not ashamed of what it is. It's playing 100% to its strengths. What did you think about it, Jackie?
Yeah, I guess you guys know me. It's not my cup of tea. When I look at these scenes where he jumps out of the the rolling car, and then he starts shooting at the demons creatures, and
Yep.
then he comes back inside the car. Just to me, there's nothing cool about that. There's nothing stylish about it. It's just over the top. It's just of bad taste, and it's I find that there's nothing cool about that. I know that I don't know a lot about the people who created the game, but from what we've talked about previously is that they're trying to make something cool, that they have this idea in mind that we're going to give the player like this ability to look cool and to be stylish while fighting and while
Yeah.
killing all these demons. But to me, there is nothing like that when I look at those scenes. To me, it's
Okay.
just over the top. It's just exaggerated, and it's almost like this would work if it were a parody, but nothing more.
You think it's comedic? It's so over the top. It's like comedy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay.
There,
Okay. I
I
got
don't
you.
look at that. I can't take these characters seriously. I can't take this story seriously. I don't know if this is the intent. If this is the intent, well, good job, I guess, because you can't take any of these characters seriously, and you can't take any of the drama seriously. To me, this is all just a, you know, a poor comedy.
Yeah, we're gonna go to that territory in a couple of minutes, but as we move further along for the plot, but I wanted to talk about the movie director and producer for this game because many names were thrown on screen during that cinematic, and we had Yuji Shimomura as the movie director. He's like the artistic boss slash leader of the project as a movie director, right? He has been the cinematic director for Bayonetta 1 and 2 and the action coordinator for Metal Gear Solid 5. So that's the kind
Okay.
of profile we're talking about. And his movie producer, the guy like in the hierarchy that is above him, is Hiromasa Inoue. That guy is the boss that like decides on how he will assemble the team, and he will take every business decision about the filmography, right? So he's gonna be involved in everything related to those points, and notably, he's been involved in many Japanese games like Nier Automata, Persona 5, Metal Gear Solid 5, and of course the best for last, Knack 2. Knack 2, baby. So that's the kind of guy we're
This is a joke, right?
no,
This
no,
is a joke.
this is true.
not
This
serious.
is absolutely true.
Well, that's funny. All right.
So
going.
those are the guys that were behind the cinematics, right? If you have a problem with the way the cutscenes were done, or like those are the guys you should like fire. Those are the guys that you don't want in your project. But I think they did a very serviceable job, and I really like their style. We can maybe talk about since we're talking about important people, right? The Devil May Cry series originated from a guy called Hideki Kamiya. And Hideki Kamiya, he's a guy that's very, very special. On Twitter, if you talk to him in a strange way, he'll block you straight away. His block list is fucking huge. I think he has the record. It's a guy that lives his life however the fuck he wants. When he was a young guy, he was like the Yakuza type, leather jacket, motorcycle, beating up people, right? And somehow he got into gaming and game design, and he's behind notably Resident Evil 2. It's like a very important game for Capcom and the Resident Evil franchise. And they were like, yeah, man, we really want you to make a sequel to Resident Evil. Not the third one, that's another project, but the fourth, please do it. And he was thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna do this, that, this. Then he was like, yo, my game is a little bit too actiony for a Resident Evil game. And people around him like gave him some tips and some okays that he could like create something completely, some new IP. And he was like, you know what? No zombies or I don't know what, because it's kind of tough to justify it by saying bioweapons all the time. So devils and Satan and whatever you want. He was like, yo, this should be really cool. And he had 3 points behind Dante's character. First one, a long stylish coat to make the character showy. Second point, a British man, because Kamiya wanted him to be witty, right? Yet traditional fighting man. And third, he doesn't smoke cigarettes, because he believes that the character was too cool to smoke. And Nero reflected that in that cutscene, if you remember well. Was like, bro, this shit smells ass, I don't want none of it, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, in cinema, in art, in like everything we know, smoking is cool. Everybody smokes. You gotta smoke to be cool, almost. So, yeah. That's the kind of little background I wanted to give you guys. Let's move on, right? So yeah, we have that soldier guy, hold the line, if you remember. He's like, what the fuck, my squad is getting fucked up. And then they come through with the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then you understand that this little kid without an arm is stronger than an entire armada. What did you think about it for people that don't really play Devil May Cry?
Well, I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like, well, it's he's the main character, you know, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
pretty
he's
much.
gonna be good.
Okay,
I
okay.
I didn't really have any thoughts about it. I just like, yeah, he's gonna be good. That's pretty much it.
About the
I
same
mean,
thing, Jackie?
we knew what we're getting on board with here. It's just we know that there's going to be demons and devils, and we're going to go through hell and everything. So I guess I guess when you see the main character and you're thinking, oh, he's going to be the many men army, or it's just obvious. It's not a surprise at this point. You know you're going to get in this type of game where the hero has a lot of power compared to normal humans.
Yeah, so the mission is on a bridge. You gotta clear it out, and the boss is
Mhm.
like a plant at the end. Did you have any
Mhm.
specific thoughts about it?
No, I just found that I know it was a prologue, right? But it was a quite easy,
Yeah,
no.
it was.
That's one thing though. I found the game quite easy, even
Yeah,
on the hardest difficulty. I know you mentioned that you would have had to have you know, the hardest difficulty, but we didn't have access to it.
yeah,
So
because the game expects the players to familiarize, learn through a first playthrough, then unlocks a difficulty superior to that, play it again, get a little bit better, so that they can play it again on Dante Must Die difficulty and get their ass whooped. But, you know, people like me that really like the game are willing to play it 3 times. But people like you, we'll see eventually if you
but you
guys would.
see, I don't mind, like, I know a lot of games do that, and I don't mind that they lock the hardest difficulty through. You have to complete the game one time beforehand. No
Yeah,
problem with that. Okay, but I would have, because I there was, so there's Sparta, Son of
Son
Sparta,
of
and
Sparta, yeah.
then there's the other one there.
Dante Must Die.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. They should have made at least the Sparta or whatever first,
Yeah,
like that you can play it, and then you can unlock the hardest difficulty.
yeah. I think Jackie, he's not too familiar with action games, but did you have that feeling that it was too easy?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's not a hard game, and although there are some fair challenges here and there, I think overall it's a pretty easy game. But it's an easy game because I'm quite familiar with video games. I think you cannot give this game to somebody who's new to video games and they'll have a good time because they'll find it easy. I
Yeah,
don't think that's the type of easy game. What I mean is that it's easy for gamers that are a bit
used to running
they're
around,
yeah,
jumping, shooting.
yeah, exactly. They're able to enter a fight and be able to evade and to attack, and they can understand the basic mechanics of combat. I think for those people, it's a pretty easy game, but it's not an easy video games for casual gamers and
Oh,
everything.
of course not. I don't think somebody that has never played can pick this up and play no problem. That far from that. I think that they would have quite of a hard time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But for example, for us that were experienced, we didn't get to have that opportunity in the first. I know there was that option that you can replay it, but the first option wasn't available, unfortunately.
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I'm playing through Son of Sparta right now, and they change it up quite a bit. You have enemy types that don't appear in the early game, appear in mission 1, 2, right? And you have those enemies that are a lot chunkier and that do some slight different attacks and things like that. And enemies like the Fury, I don't know if you guys remember it. It's like a lizard, and it's red, and it teleports around.
Yeah.
So
it's later game, right? that
yeah,
you-
yeah. The Fury, like it's like chapter 3, you're already facing Fury, and sometimes they throw 2 at you at the same time. And the Fury is actually, to me, it's the hardest enemy type in the game. So giving it more health and such things, and it hits fucking hard. So you're gonna die if you're not ready to face that enemy type.
That's what I found, because like through the whole playthrough, I died once.
That's crazy, Kyle.
But and I was like, I'm not somebody that's very like, I'm okay at video games, right? I've never been this insane person at video games.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm like the thing is, when I was fighting certain enemies, I was just like, fuck, these are just like big health pool enemies, right? I'm not receiving anything challenging. There was a boss that I found fucking hard, but if not, I was just I wished I had that opportunity to play right away the hardest difficult, not the hardest, but at least a harder difficult to
Yeah.
give me a challenge, because I think that's because, well, not to go too much into spoiler territories right now, and we let the podcast roll like how we planned it, but I found the story was quite weak, right?
Yeah.
But I did like some aspects of the combat, right?
Hmm.
Not all of it, but I liked some aspects of it. I found it enjoyable, and I was thinking to myself, if only this was just slightly harder for me to actually like put in some work onto it, like actually learning moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I would have had a completely different experience than what I had now.
That's crazy. But I'll remember that as we move on to the rest of the review. At the end of the mission, once you clear that bridge, you get a flashback sequence, a lot of flashback sequence in this game, where Nero gets disarmed by a hobo. And yeah, man, feels bad, man. He was like, yo, buddy, need some help? And yeah, he took his arm.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel some kind of intrigue, or you guys were like, yo, what the fuck is this?
The thing is, I found it. I know there was the exact dates written, right?
Yep.
But I had a hard time understanding sometimes when events happened. I know it's stupid to say there that they give you the actual time
and it's
I
written in red 1 month ago,
yeah,
some hours
but I
ago.
found it's later on. Sure, on the moment you're like, okay, that this is in the past, but if not, I didn't like. I was having a hard time understanding. Okay, is this before? Like, I didn't really know,
Yeah.
But I didn't understand first try what the fuck was happening.
They were like, yeah, it's time to eat. Yeah, I'll come soon enough. And then
his arms gets chopped off. I'm like, okay, and then they don't explain it or anything, and then they go on to the next one. I was like, okay, I guess he'll come back.
Yeah, but to people like me, we see that sword like because he like materializes a sword out of his hand that he just ripped off, and we immediately understand what character we're talking about, what's happening. But to people that are like new to the franchise, you guys are still in.
Well, I had
the
watched
mystery.
a video,
Oh,
that explains,
Okay.
and I had actually watched a YouTube video explaining what the hell was going on. Like what happened to Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4 there.
Yep.
I had a bit of an idea what was going on, especially with the sword there.
That's great. What about you, Jackie?
What about me on which part?
On the part of
'Cause you talked about a lot of-
ripping the hand and manifesting a sword and like a hobo, and what did you understand out of this shit?
Oh, I honestly I didn't try to understand a lot of things. To me, because it's not just particular to Devil May Cry, but just in general, when I'm presented with the story, I don't try to overthink.
You're just like,
overthink
okay,
things.
it's gonna come back, right? They're just showing us.
I'm like, eventually I'll bring and where this is all coming from and how it comes together.
Good.
I just when I saw it the first time, I wasn't thinking.
So mission 2 now, right? We have a lot of mission to go through, but mission 2 called Clifoth. Qlipoth as in Qlipoth tree. In Devil May Cry, it's that kind of satanic tree that grows and steals the blood of human beings in order to generate the fruit of power or something like that, right? It's like it densifies the blood of all its preys into a single point, that fruit. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, the Qlipoths are the evil forces that's the opposite of the Holy Sephiroth, and that's in Jewish mysticism. It's an ensemble of 10 Qlipoth that form the Tree of Death, and the counterpart is the 10th Sephiroth and the Tree of Life. So this is where they brought that Qlipoth tree from.
Okay, all right.
So the mission starts. The menu is different and related to context, to the story context. That's cool. Oh yeah, okay. If you guys opened your eyes when the mission is like customized, or I don't know, a play mission, you guys follow the characters like it's not the same menu. And
you're right.
To me, I was like, yo, games don't do that usually. It's at least in the old times. I was surprised. I was like, yo, this is like pre-mission. That's how they prepared. That's what they were doing. That's pretty cool to see them move in that van or whatever the fuck they were doing, right? Just like seeing them interact.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it uses a game design that we don't see often these days. It's just that, you know, you finish a mission and it's called a mission. It's not continuous. You can see like the discrete progression of everything throughout the game. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yep.
But usually when you look at games nowadays, they're more like a continuous story that goes on without stopping. Yeah.
Yeah, you have multiple quests, right? Quest 1, 2, 3, but it's never said to be quest 1, quest 2.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have the numbers, and it's not divided as explicitly. It's just mixing into the game so that you don't. It just gives a different flow. But this is the whole way of doing things when you separate every missions, and it's literally written like this is mission 1, this is mission 2. You have the number of the mission, you have the character that you're going to play, you have the difficulty, and you have the a small text box with the story.
Yep.
I'll just give me 1 second. I'll just give it a shout out to Diego Maradona that we have in the chat. So hello, bro. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if he's still there, but
I hope he is, man. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the chat, but we do love the person you're representing with that username. Rest in peace, legend.
Who the cheater?
Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna beat your ass, Kyle. You don't talk about that about the hero of so many people.
No,
I'm kidding. By the way,
I think Momo is right here. Like, you cannot say this. Like, I think it's fair to say that he was a criminal, but to go on and say that he was a cheater, maybe that's too far.
Well, he did cheat, but
we gotta move on now. We gotta move on, please. I am not pro and I'm not anti Diego Maradona, and I don't want that propaganda on my stream. The second point I took note of was that DLC orbs got me all the moveset unlocked instantly. And I had a lot of fun trying out the new moves out in the Void. It's a training mode in the menus. And the thing is, before we go on to that mission, what did you guys think about that? The fact that you didn't have to work for those orbs.
Yeah, very early on, I noticed that it was going to be a big problem with the game because it completely changes the way that you go through the level. When you see the red orbs throughout the level, you're like, I don't need them. I have enough money. I can just go on. And furthermore, when you're facing some enemies that seem to you too weak, like for example, like the small ants that you fight in the Void. Like for me, these enemies at the very very early on in the game, when I was seeing them, I was like, I'm just going to skip them because I don't need to
Same.
kill them. They're not useful enough. It's not. I don't
They're
particularly
not
enjoy
worth
killing them.
they're not worth
Yeah,
our time.
yeah, pretty much. So I think this definitely changed the way I experienced the game. So in the end, I think it had a negative impact on my appreciation, unfortunately. But it's the way we download the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It came with
same.
all that.
Same. I think it would have been a very different experience if I would have
Yeah, because
I
every
would
time
have
you want to get a new farm, get new skills, it's never an issue. You don't have to think about it twice. You just go, yeah, I'll just unlock everything
yeah, as
right
soon
now.
as I would get a character, it's unlock, 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 no problem.
Boom. Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to make choices. You don't have to think about strategies that you could use with certain skills.
So if you
yeah,
don't take that time to practice on those little enemies or in the void, it's like those moves don't even exist for you because you have unlocked them, but you never use them. You don't know how, or you don't care to learn
no,
how.
but you use them like it's not like I would unlock them and not look at what I was getting. I would look at them and try sometimes a certain type of moves, but it's just that you don't have the struggle that okay, now I have a certain amount of red orbs. I have to choose between two skills.
Yeah.
You're just buying everything, so you're thinking whatever my play style, I'll have the move sets.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to try something, I'll have it. I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. I don't have to look for more orbs. So I think that if some people want to play this game and they appreciate the combat and the mechanics, I would definitely recommend to not get this version.
Yep.
The version where everything is unlocked.
Don't
And
get that DLC with I don't know how many millions of orbs.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have 2 millions.
It's way too much. And we were talking about the arms. They're called Devil Breakers, and the designer of these arms is Shoji Kawamori. Shoji Kawamori is an anime creator, producer, screenwriter, visual artist, and mecha designer. So as you see, an artist, right? Specialized in mechas. He's the inventor of the transforming mecha, including design like the first Optimus Prime, and he's the writer of the Macross anime, whose scenario Top Gun later stole. And according to him, many people pointed out
Is it
that
Macross Frontier?
Macross, right? The whole shit, it's him.
Okay, because I watched Macross Frontier. It was pretty good.
He said many people pointed out that later films like Top Gun copied that idea and setting, as well as including the combination of many songs and fighters too. So he was kind of salty but honored at the same time. But yeah, so he's a legend pretty much, and they got him to do one job: design those arms. I hope you guys noticed how good they looked at least.
Oh yeah, he did a very fine job. I mean, when you look at the different arms, he did all the designs.
Pretty much, except for the Mega Man arm, I think, because it's Mega Man,
obviously.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think he did a pretty good job because they all look different and they have all interesting looks. So yeah, I really like the Devil Breakers. Honestly, I think it's one of my favorite parts of the game are the Devil Breakers.
Did you try that holding the Devil Breaker move and looking at it like charging up, and then like glowing, and then you let it go?
No, I don't know. I don't know what
you
you're
never
talking
did
about.
that.
Nah.
So let's say you press the button and then it shoots you up in the air. It's like a propulsion, right?
Yeah.
If that was one of the Devil Breakers.
Yeah,
you
right.
It and you do like a little flip.
You could stay pressed and see its breakage move. It's a thing that was like said in the tutorials, right? But I kind of forgot about it until I mistakenly did it, and then I did it again with other ones, and they all have different abilities, and they are really cool. Like the one that drills?
Mm-hmm.
If you stay pressed and release, he becomes like a spinning tornado drilling forward, and he breaks the arm at the end.
Oh yes. I've had that with some of them.
So yeah,
Not
you
all of
just
them,
have
but
to
yeah, I've
stay
tried.
pressed, right? And you have a special move.
Yeah, but it breaks
It breaks
afterwards.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I try to avoid that, because usually I didn't want mine to break, because I use often the one that is like the Aramin propulsion.
Yep. The one
I really
that
like that one.
is it the I think it's Gerbera. It's the green one.
Gerbera,
Yeah.
yeah. The Gerbera, but the red version.
Yeah,
I like the blue one. It's like a electric hand or something.
yeah, overdrive maybe something like that. Yeah, man, they're pretty cool, man. So mission 2, what did I say next?
One thing though, because I have to get it off my chest.
Yes.
There's one thing that I loaded, and I found I hated it, and I think it started from mission 1, and I thought it was gonna be just for mission 1 or mission 2, and it would stop, but it continued on every mission.
What
And
was
is
it?
that as soon as you would fight enemies, it would block you. No problem. I have no problem with that. But then it would cut a tiny little cutscene showing you what it opened,
Yes.
and I hated that.
You
It was
could
just
press
so-
start.
Yeah, I know, but it was just the fact of showing it to me, and I have to press to fucking skip this.
Yes.
I hated it because it was just like you're kind of insulting my intelligence that I
Yeah.
don't know where the hell, this is. It's a little thing, and at the end of the day, it's not bad.
But we're
It's just
discussing everything. You're right to say it.
I did mention that to Jackie when we talked about it briefly, the game while going through, and it was just something I every time I would see it, I would get more anger in me. I just like, fuck, stop it, like for me, I don't like that. I just any game that does that, I don't like that. When they cut the camera out of your character
Yes.
to like. They do that in Uncharted, one of my favorite games, and I hate that. It's just like put a noise, make me as a character look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is where it is, or change my character to turn towards it, or make it obvious.
It breaks the flow of the
yes,
game.
it breaks the flow. I didn't like that. Was one thing that I think it was one of the things that I hated the most of the game was that I couldn't get past that. I was just every time it happened, and it happens in every fight, right? So, but that was just it. At the end of the day, it's not something that's current. It doesn't take much time, so whatever. But still,
I'm impressed. You're like speedrunners.
yeah,
You're aiming to save the most time you can.
exactly.
I respect it, and I'm glad that they let you skip it. Like I told Jackie about the bug, I was like, bro, here's the animation. You know what it does, right? Now please go at it. Spam start. There is no problem.
That's what I would do there. As soon as I'd go, all right, skip.
But yeah, so just to resume, right? I said that the mission 2, I said it was a superb mission overall. The little bug animation is a bit too long, so I'm glad I can press start to skip. I wrote it, bro. And then I wrote, I loved the gothic architecture. The game is beautiful and I can't say it enough. And then I said, jump canceling my way to victory with custom controls feels amazing. So
I
that's...
had to switch my controls.
Me too.
I had to switch my shooting and my hitting.
Okay, that's the change you did?
That's the only change I did, but I could not get into me having to hit, which what I was using more than shooting.
Yeah.
On my the triangle, right, or the Y button.
Yeah. I just feel like after playing Devil May Cry 3, the hitting button being on triangle feels so natural. Like when I pick up my controller, my thumb goes directly on the up arrow and the triangle, so it's already there, and I really liked it. But yeah, that's just me, right? And
but it's just I'm so used to having my X being my jump, my square being my hitting, my triangle to be interact or whatever the game does differently, and O is like back or crouch or whatever.
Tabarnak, bro. Talk about homogeneity, man.
That's why, till this day, I love the game. But Kingdom Hearts, go fuck yourself. Like,
They
the
switch
jump
around the
button is,
controls.
oh my god, it's just like, and you know why? I'm okay. I'm sorry. I'm letting some steam go, but fuck Nintendo, because I hate that they change controls. That the B button
Is accept.
in their control is accept, and I hate it so much because it's like every goddamn console, every goddamn game has A or X to be accept to the one that's underneath.
Yep.
And when a game doesn't do that, I get mad at it and I don't want to play it anymore because of
You're crazy, man. Just know that before, when the games were made in Japan and everything, it was like that from the start. It changed for Western people.
Then that's fine. I don't care. Just pick one. Everybody comes to that. Don't be stubborn and try to put your own goddamn controls. Like if
The stubbornness comes from Western people because it came from Japan, and in Japan, both Sony and Nintendo used the rightmost button as accept.
Yeah, but nowadays it's evolved. So wake up, Japan.
It's still the same. If you go ahead and buy your Japanese versions of your games, X is not accept. It's refuse.
Well,
it's the Japanese. It's the Japanese.
Make it that I can change it easily. How about that? An option saying, do you want Western controls or do you want Japanese controls? No problem.
I am all for that. Yes. What did I want to add? Yes, my custom controls, I changed the jump. I wanted it on a trigger, L2. That's where I put it because of the jump cancel mechanic. You want to be able to jump cancel quickly and hit quickly. And my thumb cannot go from triangle to X very quickly. Mm-hmm. So that's why I made the change. Best boss battle, Goliath. I was like, oh my god, compared to that plant, this one is so cool. And on my second playthrough, I threw him on a church tower and it crumbled. I was super proud. What did you guys think about the boss?
I actually like the boss.
That intro with the ambulance?
I don't remember that though.
Oh, sad.
I just remember him having a stomach there and shoving crap in it there.
Yep. What about you, Jackie?
I think that's the last mission we did together that you were watching my stream, and I just remember running out of the church. Now that you mentioned the Gothic architecture, I have all the memories back there, but it was a nice boss fight. It was a gorgeous environment and everything, but there was nothing memorable about the whole fight.
Yeah, sadly.
There's only one part of the fight when because I think they start on the
top,
the church ceiling, and then they go down. Yeah. I didn't like that when they were down, when they were on top, or when I just didn't feel I couldn't move enough. I couldn't do my shit and play how I wanted. But when the fight moved outside, I enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, I loved it when it was inside because it's like forcing you to learn his patterns, right, and not get hit and get that damage. And you can play it in two different ways, right? Because every time you jump from the ground, you have invincibility frames. So people either play the game in the air, jump canceling on him, turning around, right? But some people like to play the game versus him. They think it's more efficient to stay on the ground and to time those side evades and jumps backwards, forwards, and completely dominate him without spending much time in the air. And I think that it's very fun to see different players how they tackle the problem. And did you know that you could throw cars at him? Did you know that you could throw him on that church?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that you could like there is a lot of things that did you know and then oh I should have known. Like there is that breakage move with the arm. I think it was the electric one, Kyle, you were talking about. If you stay pressed, it shoots like many laser. It's like a laser that spreads and bounces on surfaces. And every time it bounces off a surface, it doubles in power. So you shoot it once you are down on that church, and it becomes like it completely destroys his health bar. So you see things like that you're like, I didn't know. Yeah, but since they want you to play the game 3 times before you can unlock that difficulty level and get because if you want to platinum the game, you have to S rank every mission on Dante Must Die. So if you are trying to do that, you will play a lot of the game and try different combinations, and also yeah, I'm just telling you guys that you might have missed out on some cool things or two.
Yeah, well, I think it's I understand your point, but to me, I feel like we've missed out because the game is not well enough designed. Because of course you want to have some little hidden mechanics here and there, but when you have stuff like that is impressive to see because it doesn't change a lot in terms of combat. It's just going to give you a good sequence. When you have these interesting things and they are hidden and you have no way of knowing how to do them, I feel like it's not our responsibility to find out every little detail that's going to make the game better. It's there, the game designers have a bit of responsibility into that.
I mean, they
I believe.
told you could use that arm, right? They told
That's
you
not
you
enough.
could use the arm and charge it and let it rip, right? So you're
Yeah,
like,
Nah.
but there was never a mention that your environment you could use it to fight it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's nothing that gives you a hint that the environment is
Like you
that
told me,
can
oh,
use
you
it.
control cars. What? Like I didn't know that. Like it was never. I know. You know, maybe through your multiple playthroughs you learn that, but I mean, I don't particularly mind if I for example didn't catch onto some stuff.
Yeah.
It happens there. Even in games that I've played multiple, there's stuff that you go like, hey, shit, I never knew I could do that. And I find to certain aspects I like that because it's just like it encourages people to replay it and you discover things new. So I don't particularly have a problem with that I miss stuff because I knew I miss stuff in every video game. That's fact of
everyone,
life,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
So yeah, it's just
But
that.
I think mission 2 is when we meet
Yes.
my favorite character.
At the end, he comes through, kills Goliath, reads some poetry, and mission 3 starts. Flying Hunter.
Yeah, my favorite character, V. We'll talk about it more when we get into.
Yup. So mission 3, Flying Hunter. It's a Nero mission.
I think it's the worst Nero mission.
Oh God. You didn't like it?
No.
I really enjoyed that progression from outside to the underground to the library. I thought that was really cool.
I'll take that back. The worst thing was me jumping from building to building, and with that little grappling hook there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
You didn't like to press
like that
lock
you have
on?
to shoot it, lock on, and
yeah.
No, I just it felt so old. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like so old game design. It's just like, how about me being able to jump from place to place and doing? I know it's not a platforming game, right? But it's like hey, I want to go to that other rooftop. Well, press these 3 buttons with no skill, and you're there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, but I did like the underground. I quite enjoyed actually.
What about the library?
I'm trying to remember now.
It's like you come up a staircase after the underground, and then you reach it with the scissors demon.
I'm looking at my notes right now, and I think and start with one of my main issues with the whole game, because it really starts with that level, because this is where I think you get a grasp of what you're playing
Yeah.
and what the game is going to be through. I hate the level design of every single mission, and the only missions where I don't like the level, where I do like the level designs, is where it's only a boss fight. Because
Yes.
every level in this game was boring and flat and felt like a fake reason to go to the boss. I know that during the levels you're going to encounter some enemies, and there are going to be interesting enemies along the way, but they just feel like I'm losing my time going through those levels. Because you mentioned that the visuals were gorgeous when you look at the Gothic architecture and when you look at the library, for
Yeah.
example. But this is early on in the game, because as you go forward in the game, you start to go a lot more often into the underworld. I don't know
Yep.
what's it called, and I really hate that place in terms of visuals.
Yeah, the Clifoff
I'm
tree is very dark and not colorful, and
yeah, everything is looking the same. It's just, it looks disgusting. It looks all mixed together, mushed in together, and it's dark and you don't see a lot of things. I really don't like those visuals, but these are visuals, so it's not the end of the world. But it's just that going through the levels, I just felt like I was walking towards going to the bus. To me, it was like the waiting room to get to the bus. Every level felt like that. And now that I look at my notes of the library, I see that the library is when you first encounter the ghost with the scissors.
yep.
Remember that one? So I thought, because I didn't know in what game I was until then, but then after that level, I understood. It's just you of course you said to us that there was a way to beat it faster, but me, like, the first time I encountered it, I was like, all right, so this is what happens with this boss. I'm in this library, maybe I'll have to use environment and everything, but nah, man, you don't have. I was trying to evade it and go around the library and try to do something with environment, but there's nothing to do. It's just another arena where you have to strike the enemy to win. So this is where I got a grasp of what I was playing. But then you go
Comes
outside. Wait, there's just you go outside, and then there's the I don't know what they call it. There are those flying things that you use your grapple to go from one arena to another,
yeah.
as I would say. And I kind of agree with Kyle. I really didn't like that part, that you just had to press one button to just skip to another part of the level, and it was all automatic. And it's funny that you mentioned it at the start of the game, that at the start of the podcast, that one of the designers, or it was the producers or whatever for the cutscenes,
Yeah.
that worked on Knack.
Knack 2, yes.
Yeah, on Knack 2, yeah. Well, that felt like Knack, This game level design felt like that. Was
It's not
this is
him
the same
though.
thing
That's
as
the...
yeah, that's not him. But this is what this game made me feel like. It was, am I playing Knack here? Are we going from arena to arena? And when you go from one place to another, there's like a kind of cutscene of you, grabbing something and going to the area. Is this what we're offering me? This is what I'm playing. But yeah, I guess So I'll speak about it for every mission that we have, because I think every single mission I've noted the level was the weakest part of every mission to me.
Wow, okay. Because as for myself, right, I believe that there are some not so good levels and there are some great levels. But this one, the reason why I find it like medium, right? It's not too bad, it's not too good. It's because the first part with the grappling hook, there are some secret passages, like some
Yeah, like when you're going up the staircase.
yeah.
Yeah, that you see that I found the grapple was more useful. It was like, it lets you access these little things. Not just going from rooftop to rooftop, killing mobs, you know.
Yeah, and even in the rooftop section, you had the blue orb fragment for a permanent health upgrade, hidden with another. Like you had to jump down from the building, walk away in the rocks, and shoot up onto another building that was optional. But if you don't like really look at, hey, can I jump off here? It seems like I could, and just straight go from grappling hook to grappling hook, you miss it, right? So I found that the part with the buildings at first outside was the worst. I really didn't like it either. And I thought that the underground was not much better. I thought that...
Was it that level with the metro?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And from the underground upwards to the library, I liked the level design. But in terms of arena, right? Oh, this is a game where you have arenas that have some variety in terms of geometry and enemy diversity.
Yeah, I mean, the variety is a big word.
It is
Yeah,
if you're trying to style, right? Just like the vid I sent you, if you remember, where I was doing a combo from one side of the map and I go to the other side and I jump onto a bus and then, you know, shit like that. And you
No, but
bring
usually
the...
arenas they resume to one place. You have like one platform or maybe two, and it's like the enemies are coming at you. This is like the most of the arenas are like that.
Yeah, and then you have to like, I don't know, I think everybody plays like that. You have to like isolate one enemy, kill that enemy while like being safe, making sure that the others can't hit you, and then you move on to the next. Or you can like damage a little bit of him, push the others away, and then isolate him. Like, you know, there is a lot of way to deal with a fight and enemy variety. So even though we do the same thing, since it's a different enemy and a different assortment of enemies and place, every time I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I have some new things I want to try out. Some difficult things that I can't do. But I wish that with enough practice I will be able to. That's the mentality I had. But if you guys like didn't ever really think about pushing yourself, right? Well,
No, I did try to learn combos.
I can see. I can see.
I did
that.
try to learn combos, and I even went on the internet once and tried to figure out, you know, with Devil Breakers, what is a cool way and everything. And yeah, it is cool. It's just that, like Jackie said, I found the level design was very, very weak.
Yeah, it's not its forte, that's for sure. So
I think the combat was its strongest, but apart from that, no. But Mission 3 is when
Artemis, the boss fight.
Yeah, and I think it was one of my favorite boss fights.
What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you, but I have a big Zelda Twilight Princess vibes when I played against the boss because you know it's a good mechanic even though it's a bit too automatic that you can grapple and then you go up and then you go over the boss and then you strike it once you're up in the air. I think it was nice to do it like that, just like in Zelda Twilight Princess, as I said. And yeah, I enjoyed that part.
That's really cool.
It was a nice boss fight
with projectiles mostly, as you saw for the attacks.
Yes. Well, I'll wait for.
And I liked her design.
Yeah, it was creepy, huh?
Man, you see that? I like that. It was cool. I that was one of my favorite bosses and my favorite, boss design.
I really.
Yeah, well, you see.
Yes?
Yeah. I just want to say this. Yeah, it was my favorite boss, but it comes back later, and this changed my view of it. So.
Yeah, because some bosses are made more for a character than another, and we'll come back to that afterwards.
Yeah.
I think some games are made for more characters than others.
So yeah, Artemis pretty good. My first fight against it, I didn't really enjoy it much. I thought that it was a little bit boring. I wished that it attacked me. I wished it did more. I felt
Yeah,
like I
that's
was
true.
hitting a defenseless boss most of the time because of the way I was placing myself and all. I was easily not getting hit and all, but I saw on the internet somebody that kills it before it can even move, like one attack or anything. He uses a setup with where he has like 5 times the same type of breaker arm, and he uses the max power of the arm and completely shits on Artemis. Like it's so strong, then it falls on the ground, and then he can start like spamming 5 times that super powerful breaker arm and stun lock it and do some massive damage. So I was like, yo, shit like that is possible, but I didn't think of it. I'll try it next time. You see, that's the kind of mentality I have. Mission 4, V. Oh my god, the best character in the game. The character that has so many fans, especially girls. Girls love him with his sensual voice and his femboy attitude. What did you
It's
guys
hard
think
for me
of
to
him?
choose between like what's worse between voice acting or the actual combat. And like I don't mean that lightly. I mean it's very hard to choose because
Bro, you don't
both
like
are
Adam
so
Driver?
horrible.
It's V, bro. It's
I
Kylo
don't think it
Ren.
is. No, 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 I don't think it is. It's not even close. Don't disrespect a great actor like Adam Driver ever again. Like
Look at their
with
faces. Look at their faces.
no, I'm talking about the voice acting. I'm not talking about the visual. You could look like a fucking dick. I don't give a fuck, man. To me,
Oh,
it's just the voice acting that's so horrible and the lines. I don't know who wrote this shit, but I mean, we
Nah,
saw it at the beginning with the other people. It's just it was nothing special that
no,
was
but
going on here.
yeah, I agree with that. That I think V and his missions are by far the weakest point of the game. And if that would, I don't mind the character, right? I don't like him, but whatever. He can be in the game, but I could not stand his missions. I just always wanted to. If I could, I would have skipped those missions.
me
It it
too.
it made me really dislike the game, even though I at the end of it, I liked the combat. I liked Nero. I liked Dante. I liked their fighting style. I liked their missions. I didn't like the level designs, but V, he can go fuck himself. I hated that shit so much there. Just I thought it was gonna be. I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." This looks like a weird take, a different take. But I think they flopped, and
Yeah, the
unfortunately,
intention was there, but the execution, I don't know, bro.
yeah, unfortunately,
The character I wrote is so weird. I dislike how disconnected to the action he is. And then
yeah,
I wrote very easy S, double S, and triple S ranks.
yeah.
I managed to pull off some cool juggles between Griffin and Shadow. It felt great. That's what I wrote. My eyes are concentrated on the target, Griffin and Shadow, and I forget to protect V.
Bro, I would just
Hmm.
spam my shooting and the other thing, and be staying behind and just AFKing until I killed him, and then that's it.
What
Yeah,
about
and
you?
I understand that you cannot make a protagonist that is invincible. So of course, like the bird and the panther, at one point they cannot be invincible. But another weak point of that character is that when the panther goes down or the bird goes down, it just stops. You have to wait for it to recharge, and then you go back into combat. So if both of them are taken out, you're just standing there and you're just waiting. You're just running around trying to evade the attack like a fucking bitch during like I don't
That's
know
what
what
I was
time frame, but
doing
just
too.
30 seconds. Like you go on for like that. I'm like, oh my god, this is anti-gaming.
You know what I
This is not
learned?
gaming.
You know what I learned on my second playthrough? If you
What?
press R2,
Mm-hmm.
V starts reading his book.
Yeah. To
Yeah,
gain
yeah,
life.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that all the time. I was there reading my book while all the idiots were getting killed, and then no life. Okay, read book. And
And then you press L1, right?
Hmm.
And then the giant golem, I think he's called Nightmare, comes through and revives your two buddies, the Griffin
Yeah,
and
but
Shadow.
you
what's
see,
dangerous about that?
my golem was always up. I don't know what the hell was happening, but every time. But that's I guess maybe it's because I upgraded him too much or whatever.
Yeah,
But my V there, every time there was a fight, I forget R1 or something like that. He spawns, and I would do like that L2, and then you spam the other two, and like the gauges fill of
yeah,
like the
yeah.
and they were just. So I was doing nothing. I was just watching them fight, you know. So
Yo, that's crazy. You had so many upgrades that you could let the animals fight for you without pressing a button.
yeah. And then I think they screwed up even more. Like they wanted V to interact, but it was just like, so your guys killed him, but you still have to go and press B beside him to kill, you know. And I was just
I
like,
hope you had that upgrade where you lock on forward and
yeah.
yeah,
Did no,
thank God. I was like,
no worries,
please.
no worries. I had that.
So yeah, that was mission 4. It was not not too good. Not too good. Mission 5, Devil Sword Sparta. Very
If you
yes.
if I just have like one thing to say, because I've noticed that in Mission 4, and then when I started to pay attention, this is, from that point I started to notice. But I think that another bad point about Devil May Cry 5 is the camera placement. The
You
camera
think
placement
so?
in some, yeah, in some places, um, is that you have some, when you're going, into tunnels, or when you're taking stairs or turning corners, you're going to have like these fast zoom in and out that are very uncomfortable when you're, trying to
Mm.
control the camera. And I don't know if it's what they used to do for the other Devil May Cries, but I was not used to it, and made me feel a lot very uncomfortable at times. And sometimes the camera placement is, in the mid range, so you see the enemy in front of you, but if there is a flying enemy just above you, you cannot see it, because you cannot, take the camera down so you have a better view of all the enemies.
I see what
So
you mean. Yeah.
sometimes the camera is stuck and you cannot move it in, to put it in the perfect spot. And at first I thought, okay, well, this is a problem of V because of the animals, so whatever. But then I started to notice you have these problems with Nero, my bad, with Nero and what's he called, Dante.
Dante. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll talk about those characters after. But I just want to mention, yeah, sometimes the problem that I have is that the camera is going to be placed in an angle that is going to be good for the cinematography, is going to look good, because you have your main character, and then in a larger shot you have like this big ass boss that is with the, for example, the knight in armor with the sword,
Yeah.
with the electric sword, like that's one of the bosses. So you're going to have this great angle, but when you start to move and you want to evade, it's better to have, well, I prefer to have my camera a bit higher, so I'm able to see where I'm going. And I don't know, it's just preference, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that the camera wouldn't let me do that, it upset me a lot in a lot of missions. So I don't know why it was like that, but I
I know
think
I
it was
changed the camera a little bit. I thought it was a little bit too further out, so I zoomed it
mhm.
in personally.
Okay. To me, it's the opposite. I thought it was too close in,
Oh, okay.
but yeah,
You had that settings too, but I think the angle you can't fix it though. So
yeah, you can
yeah,
you can change it up, because I was trying to just to move like the stick upwards or downwards, and sometimes it wouldn't just move. You could just move it like horizontally.
yeah. So yeah, the camera, in the history of Devil May Cry, it's the first time it has this camera. Because before Devil May Cry, as I said, was a Resident Evil game, and the Resident Evil game worked with
Hmm.
fixed camera angles.
Yeah.
Fixed camera angles according to where you were on the map. So you
Hmm.
move and then boom, it shifts and it's fixed, and then you okay, that's how it is, and then boom, it shifts again. Now they try to make it where you can control it. It's behind your back, and also I think I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest, because I played, as I said, the old games, Devil May Cry 3, and I really liked most of my playthrough with that fixed camera angle. But at the same time, sometimes some of these angles were atrocious, like really bad. So I don't know. Maybe if I had that possibility, it would have been better. So I don't know. I think it's camera is always finicky. Like to nail as a game designer, programmer, whatever, in a 3D game, how it clips with wall. At least they did that well. You know when there is a wall and then the camera comes and it becomes invisible.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
it
this is
doesn't
very
hide
important.
you. Yeah, it doesn't hide. So, Mission 5, Devil Sword Sparta, very, very painful to play as V, especially against tanky enemies or bosses. That's what I said
And
first.
episode 5, I think it was the horseman there.
Yes. Oh my
And-
god, it was hard.
And you see, I find it's the biggest loss because he was by far my favorite boss. I found he was the coolest looking. I liked his mechanics. I liked everything. But you play as fucking V and it ruins it.
Yo, Shadow doesn't work in that fight. The Panther, he doesn't work, bro. He's like, he can't reach the horseman because the horseman has superior mobility. So you have to shoot him and use that charge thunder. That was like the two moves I did the most, and I really hated it. And then when I have enough Devil Trigger, summon Nightmare, and then he comes through. Oh, by the way, on the last mission, right, there was a place where you were like in a square, and it was the arena. They shut you off with red walls, and you have to fight. If you called Golem, he would have spawned out of the wall.
Yeah.
And then crash down, and then you fight. And when the fight ends, you can go into that wall he just exploded and get a permanent health upgrade. And I was surprised. I was like, yo, this is sick. But yeah, back to the horseman. What did you guys think?
Yeah, like I said, I really liked him. I found he was cool. It was just like I said, V.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I think we can go on to the more interesting stuff in the next mission.
Steel Impact, Mission 6. Yeah, so when we beat Artemis in that library, there is that blue human being that came out of it with goo and all, and it was Lady from Devil May Cry 3. A funny character, Lady, because her real name is Mary, but
she changed her name because her father gave her the name, and she killed her father.
And she's like, "Fuck you, Dad! Now I'm gonna have my own name, the name I chose myself." And it's inspired by, there's always some inspiration, but hers is not really insightful. I don't think it's too good, but the other trivia will come later. It's gonna be really good. But yeah, now we start the mission and she's knocked out on that little sofa and naked. And I felt it was really fucked up. And when I heard the comments about her looking good by Nico, I was like, yo, I am not feeling comfortable right now. What about you guys?
I didn't think much of it actually there. I just now that you're saying it is weird there, but it wasn't. I think I was just processing that I had to be the fucking boss with V.
Yeah, you're still traumatized by V. You cannot follow the story afterwards.
Steel Impact is a Nero mission, right? You remember?
Yeah.
And you had to grapple and onto the boss. What did you guys think about that boss fight?
It looked like Shadow of the Colossus had like this vibe when I was playing it, but there are problems in Shadow of the Colossus, but I thought this was going to be better, but I had problems with the grapple. Sometimes I will take the grapple and grab on
the leg?
I don't know. Yeah, no, the target on the back of the boss,
Oh, okay.
and it would just like, I don't know what happened to the mechanic, but it would just like slide me under the bus, so I would
Oh.
just fall under it, and it happened to me a couple of times. And when you get on the back, I think they have an issue with creating platforms, because this is something I've experienced with the platforming parts of some levels. Is that there are some little invisible walls close to the platforms. So sometimes you think you're on it, but you're not on it, or sometimes you think you're not on it, but you're on it. So it gives like it feels slippery.
Yes.
So when you get on his back, you think sometimes you're going to be safe and everything, but you just slide off, even though you're no way close to the edge or whatever.
Yup.
So it's very unsettling and confusing at times. So yeah, this is the part I didn't appreciate about that boss fight. But the good thing about this mission is that there's no level, there's only the boss fight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there is only the
That's the
boss
good
fight and the environment.
Yeah. But you see, I didn't really like the boss fight. I just found he was boring. He wasn't a challenge at all.
The only way to defend himself is shooting spikes, right?
Yeah.
And if you know what you're doing, you will never get hit by those spikes.
I didn't lose a speck of health through that whole boss.
And you can stay on top, right? You don't have to jump
yeah.
off. You just have to
Nope.
like jump, wait, double jump, wait, do a gunshot, wait, and then do one hit, another hit, wait, and then the third hit where he spins upwards. I don't know if you guys learned that combo.
I don't think so.
It's a hit, wait, hit again, and then he like does a spinning wheel upwards.
I must have done it when I when I was.
So yeah, you do that, he is completely done shaking around trying to make you fall, and then you can continue beating the shit out of it.
So for me, it was just like a HP boss that you just hit over and over and over.
How did you climb on top though?
Well, at one point he would just go down,
Yeah?
and then you would go on him.
You see, what I did was I jumped on his leg and I kept jumping because I had bought the enemy step power.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, I was like climbing on top of him, up, and then I was up and I never left.
Yeah, exactly that. I didn't fall once,
I did fall though because I was surprised by the spikes like many times. At first I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, first time I did get spiked there, and I went there.
So yeah, I mean, okay boss, not the greatest to be honest.
Yeah.
Mission 7, United Front. I wrote lady being knocked out. No, that's not it.
So that mission is that they give you the choice Nero and V. So
yes, and I chose
obviously,
yes. Okay, yes.
you take Nero because never again V. Well, you think never again, but the game will get you. So I think me, it's from that mission onto the end of the game, when I was not in an arena where I was blocked by the red barriers.
Yes.
I would just skip the enemies.
Go forward. Yep.
Because I was fed up. I was like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't like the fighting, so I would just skip the enemies. And when I was, in a room where I had to fight, I would. But if there were no barriers, I would just go forward.
I would also sometimes just go for it, but not because I don't like to fight, just because I had nothing to gain from that exchange.
Yeah. Although how was it? There was an enemy kind there. It was like those sword guys there, but like with like a little purple on their backs. You see, I found that was one of the most challenging.
Yeah, I think that was the boss. It was.
The armor knights.
No, not the armor knights. Sorry. It's like these lizard guys with two big swords.
Oh yes. They go purple when they attack you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were actually my favorite kind because I found that they gave me a little bit of challenge.
Yeah, what I love about these is that you cannot let them drop, because if they drop, they will become purple and impervious to attacks. So what I did was keep them in the air until they die, and that was really satisfying to pull off.
Yeah, I would try to do the same. Obviously, I couldn't
And then yeah,
do the whole life,
boss,
but yeah.
the boss with the big the knight there.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite bosses. Even if V is in the picture and you have to see him in the background, but apart from that, it was very nice
You
to
know,
fight these bosses.
sometimes if you parry the boss, V comes through with his special move, right? Where you do the B when they almost die, and he kills it instantly.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Maybe he did because I thought I noted that he was, and I think he killed one of them because you have like the small knights and you have like a main knight.
Yeah, with a big ass sword.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but me, I really like this boss fight because I just love when he goes with the sword and then you just dodge the attack and then you strike with the sword. It had it reminded me of the fights in Witcher 3. This
I
is what
see.
I was thinking about.
I see, I see. I don't know if you guys ever took the Buster arm in behind the metro. You had like a staircase, and behind you had a Buster arm. It's a Devil Breaker. But that arm, when you press it, it tries to grab something. Did you ever have
Yeah.
that animation?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I would do was I would shoot up the knight in the sky. It's hard to launch them in the sky, but if you can, it's pretty cool, right? I shoot them up, I do a little combo on them, and before I shoot them back down, I press that Devil Breaker arm, and then you kind of pick them up and do Rock Lee Hidden Lotus on them. Blah! Onto the ground. It's super cool. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't know we could do that, but yeah.
The hilarious thing is when you do it on the ground, but you have to parry them first or knock them down. But you have to do it when there's only one. He picks them up very slowly, like he's struggling to pick them up, right? And then like puts him like WWE on their shoulders like that. And then he like drops with their head first onto the ground. It's pretty funny too. There are so many different animations with that Devil Breaker arm that are specific to enemy types. Versus the Armor Knights, I found that they had the best or close to the best. Lizards also on the Metro. You had like lizards with long tails that were coming out of the thing that like breeds babies, baby demons.
Yeah, that I like because then you're like, oh, do you see that's a little game mechanics that I enjoyed because then it was like you had to prioritize that, but you also had to
defend
start
yourself. Yeah. I liked the Devil Breaker arm, the Buster arm on them because he would take them by the tail and like spin them around like a lasso, right?
Yeah.
And then you can decide where to shoot. It was fun. So United Front, it was a crazy ass mission. You noticed that you were on the theater while fighting the Armor Knights. It was sliding down.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a cool scenery. Mission 8, Demon King.
So the first
The intro scene.
yeah. So well,
We're
the
starting
intro,
to look like a team, and then she's like, "Oh, you flirting? Knock it off!" I was like, "Bro, this is way too raw."
I think it was the first time you're right. You're in the tree.
Yes, with
And,
Nero. Yes.
I found it was okay. I didn't like there was some they attempted to do some platforming, which I found they failed and they didn't do much of it, so that was good. But I did actually like the boss because you you're like, fuck, this is quite hard, and then you figure out that no, I think actually you can kill the boss, but you're not meant to kill him.
Yeah. Speedrunners find some strategies to die quicker. you have to beat him first, like destroy the crystal, and then you have to lose.
Yeah, because when I started hitting it, because I sometimes I find it's like after 2 minutes I'm like
Something's wrong. Yeah.
something's wrong because fuck I'm putting so much damage onto this fucker that it doesn't seem I can, but I was interested to see, right, and how you call it uh, um there's this program, right? I used it for a couple games. One
Cheat
specifically,
engine.
it's called WeMod, but it is cheat engine, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to test for myself if that boss you can defeat him, right?
Yeah.
So I did use it. I put myself infinite health. Took me fucking 15 minutes to kill the fucker, but I finally got there, and it actually ends the game.
No.
End credit scenes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can defeat him, but no way you can with where you are. You know, you don't have the.
This is crazy.
And because there's in games do that sometimes, right? Where there's a boss that you kind of have to lose to him, or it's either you defeat him and then cutscene and he defeats you, right?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that they didn't do that. That they let you actually fight the boss, because if they make you fight it and then they make you a cutscene saying, "Oh, you lost," I hate that, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you put so much effort into it to just lose. But I always want to try out sometimes. You know, when there's bosses that you have or enemies you have to lose to proceed, to see if it is and credit to the game. If you defeat him, the game ends. End credit scenes.
This is amazing, Kyle. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Would you have ever had that, like, intuition, Jackie?
No, I'm very surprised to hear that. It's quite amazing. But it's like you said, it's great that they thought of that, and they reward you for beating the well, you cheated, but it's another story. But it's great that they reward you to beat the boss. I'm sure that there are people online that would try to to beat it and to finish the game at that point. But yeah, I don't particularly like it when you have there's a fight and you have to lose. I just find it weird, but it's always better than to do the fight and lose in the cutscene. This is like the by far the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
But
just make us lose, right? Don't make me win.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Make
And
it hard, make it impossible.
the only thing that
Yeah.
I would say, like, for that mission is I didn't enjoy the going back to that same boss over and over again. It's just like a preference. I don't like when we go back. I know it's for the story and for everything to come together, but it's not something that I enjoy. Just fight the same bosses again.
Yeah.
And it's something that they do in the game, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how it is.
I don't know if you guys ever did secret missions in the game, but
No.
the one in mission
maybe.
8 was don't touch the ground until the end, where you pick up the blue fragment orb, and it's a grappling, like you chain grappling and gun shots until you reach the end. I don't think you would have particularly liked it, but I thought it was pretty fun to.
Oh, but you see stuff like that, I don't mind, because it's just it's there. You don't have to do it. I like that.
Yeah. So I wrote also that I fought Urizen very well this time. We're getting used to his patterns by now. And at the end, I wrote Urizen dropping bars. His obsession with power and disgust in humanity keeps getting clearer and clearer. There is a couple of great lines that he says, and I was like, bro, this shit is so edgy. It's amazing. And big shout outs to the Devil May Cry wiki. They said that Urizen is a name given by V to his nameless demon. Because every time Nero says, hey, you're Urizen, right? Then he says, I have no name, or something like that. And it's like, it's taken from William Blake's mythology. Who is William Blake? He's a poet, my man. He is an artist from the late 1700s, early 1800s in England. And when V reads his book, he reads poems written by him. And William Blake, the reason why I think they picked him up for that, why we have William Blake in the book, why he reads poems and all, it's because in 1826 he had to produce a series of watercolors, engravings of Dante's Divine Comedy. He got commissioned, right? And his work got cut short just a year after, in 1827, because he sadly died. And Blake shared Dante's distrust of materialism and the corruptive nature of power. And he clearly relished the opportunity to represent that atmosphere and imagery of Dante's work. So when he was near death, the central preoccupation he had was to work on those illustrations for Dante's Inferno, which is part 1 of Dante's Divine Comedy. And it is said that he has spent one of the last shillings he possessed on a pencil to continue sketching. So the guy was completely devoted and crazy about that. And yeah, I saw some of his work. It's absolutely amazing. Big respect to that artist I didn't know before. And we were talking about Dante's Divine Comedy. It is by Dante Alighieri. And it's behind also the inspiration behind this series, right? Dante has his name come from the author who self-inserted himself into that story. Virgil comes from that book also. He's some kind of good friend, idol of Dante. He's shown to be good in that series. Beatrice.
And he's a poet also.
Poet, of course. Beatrice is Dante's love interest, the most beautiful woman in the world, right? And that's where Trish comes from. Trish, Beatrice, you see? And yeah, they're like,
Trish.
Trish.
All right.
So there are like multiple different links, and when you go deep into what Urizen represents, right, that kind of that demon that's about power and order, right? He establishes the order and everything. You're like, yeah, man, they did their homework. It's pretty damn good. Mission 9, Genesis, another obligatory V mission.
Can we just skip it?
I just want to say one thing. The intro scene was great to me because we have Dante, right? I'm such a fanboy of Dante. And V comes through when Dante asks him, what's your name? And he says, I have no name. I am but 2 days old. And then he closes his book. It's straight from William Blake, Infant Joy, the poem. And they tied it to the plot because, as you learned afterwards, V was 2 days old. So, yeah, I think that was also pretty cool. Catacombs level, nobody. That enemy type. It's like a quadrupedal monster with a face, like a fucked up face, and they were dancing around the sword. I thought that enemy type was the worst in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can't combo it. It's pretty challenging and it fights in groups. I thought it was really hard.
Yeah.
Is
that sorry, can you... Because I'm thinking of the fat dude that's walking around crawling. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it's the nobodies. Nobodies, if you try and Google them, they're like nobody, Devil May Cry 5, right? They look like quadrupedal demons with a funny looking head, with a giant arm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Those guys.
Because you know the armor guys, you could launch them eventually. Like if you parry them and launch them, you can do some combo. But nobody's, you can't do that. So
Mm-hmm.
I really hated that about them. Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. I think we can move on to Awaken. Maybe Jackie wants to add something to Genesis Mission 1.
He said he will be right back.
Nah, man. Yeah, I'm back. I'm just what can I say? I think in this particular mission, I noticed how the Panther is just a mess to control because I really didn't like the fact that when you strike with the Panther and at one point she stops, it stops and it reappears just beside you. It doesn't appear like next to the enemy.
Yeah,
So I found that very, very irritating.
yeah, man.
And that's all I have to say. I mean, all the missions with V were a pain in the ass, basically.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. What did you guys think about the first cutscene where you see Dante in his desk, in his shop, right, in his business, without any water or electricity? What did you guys think of the character? Somebody that's there in life.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember it.
And then Morrison comes through and he's like, I have good news and bad news for you. What do you want first? Then he says, just talk. And then Morrison begins and says something like, okay, let's start with the bad news. So there's this little girl named Patty. She really wants you in her, I don't know what, birthday party or something like that. And then he's like, yeah, but the good news is that I have a gig for you. Cash up front. And then he says, oh, now we're talking, right? Because those toilets need flushing and we need some lights. I was like, bro, this is so disgusting and funny at the same time. Imagine the filth building up in the bathroom.
True that.
So, yeah, man. I don't know, man. I thought it was very charming. Mission 10, Awaken.
This, you see, I like Nero, but I find he's the weaker. I much prefer Dante. I found his gameplay to be the most fun.
Yeah.
I found he was the most, I don't know, all those weapons, all the things. It was every mission that Dante was in, I was looking forward to it. Nero was like, okay, and V was skip, please.
Yup. So I said, how many times are we gonna climb the Clyfoth? I was like, bro, it's been another flashback mission. So, second point, Dante. I was so excited. Superb character. Style switching on the fly is one of the greatest mechanics in gaming. What did you guys think about style switching?
I agree because I found it added challenge to, because Nero find his devil breakers and whatever, but I found the only thing though that I found was missing with Dante was I really like Nero's grapple, that you can grapple enemies closer to you. There's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if not, I preferred every aspect of Dante better.
But I don't know if you guys did upgrade Dante to the max, but if you guys upgraded his trickster ability with trickster level 2, I believe, you can lock on to an opponent, press forward and then the style button, and he would teleport to that
I did not know that.
opponent. And yeah, it makes for crazy bullshit, as you can guess. And yeah, did you guys also switch from the kicks to the punches? I hope so.
That was one of my. I even preferred the kicking than the sword.
But did you use the punch?
The punch.
Yeah, you have the kicks, right? But you also have the punch.
But you're like a boxer.
Yeah, exactly. And then you become ignited, it said.
Could be, I don't remember.
You hear some kind of voice, the commentators say 1, 2, 3, 4, until 10. Then you become fiery, right?
I don't remember that.
You don't, because once you become ignited, you have a lot more moves, and you.
Wait, is it like when you become like a demon?
No. How can I explain? With the kicks, right? It's called Balrog. That weapon, Balrog.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. And I just YouTube it because I had no fucking idea. Yeah. Okay, I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, with Balrog, you lock on, press back, and hit, and then he switches from kick to punch, and you have like two weapons in one, and it's super fun because it's a very complex
But
weapon.
like you said, I didn't like that we were all going up the fucking tree again.
Yup. So yeah, essentially, yeah, I fucking love Dante, bro. I can go on and on about him. Is there anything this character can do? He's too powerful, bro. He's way OP. Like I was amazed. What about you, Jackie?
At first, I didn't like him, but in the end, I found him very interesting, and it was nice to see styles. Although towards the end, I was not using all of them. I was sticking to one of them, and then just going on
Trickster,
with
I
the
bet.
mission. I don't know what it is, but no, I don't think
Trickster to
that was
dodge,
the one.
right?
No, I don't think it was the one to dodge. I think it was just swordsman. if that's one.
Swordmaster. Oh, Swordmaster
Yeah,
is
Swordmaster.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
love it. I love Royal Guard. You know that Royal Guard is the most powerful weapon in the game.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know.
a style, right? You press the style button at the time you get hit, and he parries it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can like store power every time they hit you. You parry, move around, hit them, parry, and then at the right time you lock on. The next time they go ahead to try and hit you, same timing as the parry. You do forward plus style instead of just style to parry, and it's called the Royal Guard release. Bro, the health bar of a big boss, it melts. It completely disappears. So what you could do, right, is grind the Royal Guard before entering the boss fight, go into that and destroy it completely. So yeah, man, you gotta fight Urizen, and you can't kill him, sadly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then mission 11, right? Reason.
Wait, just mission 10 because I have a couple of notes on mission 10. It's quite big actually. I didn't know I wrote so much for that mission.
Go ahead.
I have to give two shout outs. One to the music in this level. Horrible music.
Yeah.
Horrible music. It
Yeah.
was one of the worst in the game. There's like this dude screaming over electric guitar, and there's like this stiff beat in the background. It was horrible. I really didn't like it. And
the track is called Subhuman, and yeah, nobody likes it.
Oh god, so irritating. But then my second shout out is actually for these mini boss fight. Well, it's further it's like enemies, but at this point it's a mini boss fight.
Which
and it's
one?
like a rolling demon, and you charge up this roll,
Yes.
and then it goes at you. I really love those enemies because I would find I don't know, it's me, maybe I'm weird with that, but I would just like to just like stay in front of it, don't move, and at the last instant just dodge when it passed beside me.
Yes.
I just really love to do that. I found it very funny, and it was one of my favorite enemies throughout the whole game.
Shoutouts. I also really like the enemy because if you Royal Guard it, it completely stops it in the track and it falls on its belly, right? Face down, and then you can completely destroy it.
Oh, that's nice. So you see, I really like those types of enemies and beating the shit out of them. Here is where I noticed the problem with the aiming system. So one of the problems that I had throughout the game is that when you're near two enemies, for example, and this is basically what happened to me. I was near two enemies that were on the because I hit them, and then I want to select one of them so that I can put it up in the air and just start another combo.
Yep.
And I press the aiming button, and it just aims an enemy across the room. So
Yeah.
it just flips the camera, and it just takes an enemy that is across the room. And I was like, why did they make it like this? I don't understand why. And then when you try to switch from enemy to enemy, you cannot switch from enemy to enemy if you're moving.
Yes.
If you're moving, there's going to be a lag.
That's the
that is
worst.
very annoying.
Yes.
Very annoying. So you have to stay still when you're changing from enemy to enemy. So I really didn't like this part of the combat design. But
I fucking hate it because before you could move as much as you wanted and switch. I don't know why they changed it in 5. In 3 you could, but yeah, I didn't.
It was
like
such a weird decision. And finally, there's for some sections after your fight in which they lock you in a room with barriers, you have like a few seconds to go through like a red gate. Like
yeah, it's like the rhythm gets faster and faster until it closes.
Yeah, exactly. So they're open for a short amount of time and then close. So now in this section, like you have 2 of these.
Yeah.
Like you don't have 1, you have 2, and you have to basically choose between the 2. And for me, I just checked the 2 of them. I was like, I'll just continue on the main path. So that was the again, I'll say I think it's the problem with the DLC pack is that you're not interested in going and searching for red orbs or whatever.
It had a permanent health upgrade, blue fragment orb.
Ah, you see. In both of the
no, just one of them. Just
one of them. Okay. So yeah, there it is.
What about your favorite style? It was Swordmaster, you said.
Yeah.
And you never really switched from one to another during gameplay.
No, I did. I did at this, but at one point I just stick to one because how I play. How's my play style? I'm more of a evade and strike. So I don't think too much about how styles can influence my play, my gameplay.
Yeah, but if I had the possibility to like make you see the worth in that, let's say you were using Swordmaster to get the most damage out in that boss fight. Mm-hmm. Then you see him like preparing for the big fireball. You press up on the D-pad, you switch to Trickster, and then evade. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one way to do it. Another way would be to Royal Guard, right? Like switch to Royal Guard parry. That would be an option, but it's kind of risky. So people, what they do is they combine jump with Royal Guard, because jump has invincibility frames, and mathematically, right? If you put yourself in a situation where you time it well enough so that the attack goes through you, but you're into invincibility frames, switch to Royal Guard, press Royal Guard. Royal Guard becomes active as the hitbox is inside you and you were invincible. So you never get hit and parry. So that's an easy way of cheesing the game, some sort.
Okay, I see.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to explore these fights. I didn't, but I think I should have.
I think I don't know if you guys at the end you'll tell me if you want to one day replay through the game in the harder difficulties, but there are many things that are left to explore. I'm not gonna lie, even me that spent hours in the void, I still know and want to learn much more. So yeah, mission 11 reason. That's the end of my notes. I didn't have the opportunity to complete.
Oh, it's all right. I'll back you up.
Let's go.
So, what can I say about mission 11? So the mini boss in this one is like a teleporting ghost summoning demons.
I don't remember. Who do we play?
I think we're playing as Dante on that one.
Dante.
Mission 11?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Dante.
yeah, it's Dante. Yeah.
Well, if you
So-
guys can remember,
And you at the end you fight like
yeah,
a
the knight with the
the
electric sword.
the knight with
oh
wings.
yes, the best
Mhm.
boss fight in the game, according to many players.
It was a very good boss fight.
Yeah,
I liked it.
absolutely.
The only problem that I had is what I mentioned earlier. It was the camera, how it was angled.
At
But,
the start,
apart from
it
that-
was so epic.
Yeah, yeah. So as I said, it looks good, but for gameplay, I don't think it's the best position.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, with the light, with the lights turning on and off in the background, it's like a nice cinematic effect. And the electric sword looks badass and everything. So yeah, it was a very nice boss fight.
That's all you had
yeah.
in notes?
Yeah, no, I have some notes. At that point, like I said, in the level, skipping most of it, and then when I entered some zones where you have to fight, I had again some problems with the camera because in one of the zones it's like an inclined plane,
Yeah.
so it's not like straight, so the camera goes in weird places, and so when you're fighting, it's very, very unpleasant.
You
And
do you spend most of your time grounded while fighting?
yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
maybe.
No, actually, no.
Maybe
Actually,
that's why
it's a
suffer.
50-50.
Okay, so okay. Because usually,
now that I think about it, like my favorite move to throw the enemy in the air and just jump and then strike. Like
with
that's my favorite.
Swordmaster, right? That's what you did.
With Swordmaster.
Nice. Okay. Did you guys ever messed with enemy step jump cancels?
Yes. I've tried it a couple of times.
What was your
I mean-
favorite usage?
I don't have one.
Reposition? Or continuing a combo?
Reposition. Yeah, continuing a combo, especially against bosses. I think it was pretty useful to
Yeah.
you strike and then they'll do a mid-air attack and jump on them and evade the attack. I think it was most of the time this is how I used it.
Awesome. Are you back, Kyle?
Hello, yes I am.
Yeah. What did you think about that knight with the electric sword?
Yeah, I liked him. He was one of my favorite. I think my favorite boss there.
And then you kill it, and it becomes.
The blonde girl.
Yeah. I was more talking about the weapon that you get. You know.
The motorcycle weapons. Yeah.
Yes, what a crazy weapon. Sorry, Trish, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I used it once or twice and never used it again.
No.
Oh,
It's-
you want to hear mine? I saw the motorcycle and I knew you could use motorcycles to fight in this game. And as soon as I got it in my inventory, I'm never going to touch that weapon in the whole game. I'm not even interested
Why?
in knowing what they do. So
How?
to this moment, I don't know what they do.
Oh my god. The motorcycle is the best weapon in the game to deal with armored opponents because it shreds through the armor. So you missed out, my boys. But there are so many
It
ways
looks
to attack the
ridiculous.
problem. Yes, it looks so good.
It looks ridiculous. When we talked about this, and you were like, how he designed this, he was like, what do young people think is cool? Motorcycles.
Yes.
So now we'll fight with motorcycles, and this doesn't look good. It looks just completely ridiculous.
My man.
I cannot believe that some people find this stylish or whatever. To me, it's just like a fucking joke.
I need to
I
talk
can't take
about
this seriously.
I need to talk about the guy that had that idea though. The guy is the director. He's called Hideaki Itsuno. He joined Capcom in 1991 as a planner in video game industry. He doesn't do calendars. That's not his job. It's to combine the others' work in the form of data in the game. So The guy that does 3D models send him the data. The guy that does the programming for the combat system sends him the data. The guy that does animation sends him the data, and he combines, right? That's the planner. And he directed many games since he joined, right? Including Power Stone. I don't know if you guys heard about that game. It's a 3D fighting game. It's an old game. That's a little bit. It's a little bit like Smash Bros, where you're in an arena, but in 3D, not 2D, and you have hammers and items spawning, so that you can fight with them, right? He is also the director behind a lot of fighting games at Capcom's that are very loved, and Dragon's Dogma. It's said to be the RPG with the best combat system, and I guess you could think that it's pretty logical since he's the guy behind Devil May Cry, right? And I don't know if you guys would say that Devil May Cry has a great fighting system or not, but to me it has. And he hopped on the Devil May Cry series since Devil May Cry 2. And as a director, he has the hands-on creative control over basically everything. And little history, right? His start on the Devil May Cry series was not pretty. The director of the original Devil May Cry in 2001, Hideki Kamiya. They have almost the same name, Hideki and Hideaki. So Hideki Kamiya, who later founded Platinum Games, Bayonetta and everything, he didn't return to work for the sequel. So DMC2 was laid to another director, someone else, take on the project. And we don't know who that guy is. They refused to let his identity known from the public. And in the last 6 months of production, Itsuno-san was brought in at the tail end of the development to steer the project away from absolute catastrophe. And in the end, the game was still horrendous shit. Hideki Kamiya has publicly defended Itsuno-san for not being responsible for this dumpster fire, but the damage was done. They were like, holy crap, maybe Devil May Cry is dead. But then came in 2 years later Devil May Cry 3, and Hideaki Itsuno's chance as a director from day one came through, and he had to bring back the series to its former glory. And he chose to return to the original design philosophy, because it had a change between 1 and 2, and make the best 3D action game the world has ever seen. That was the mission statement. The series staples were born, the mechanics, be it in gameplay or story, right? Virgil was inducted from then on. Themes, story themes. So it encountered critical success and commercial success. People were like, oh, Devil May Cry is back, right? And in the PS3 360 era, Devil May Cry 4 came out in 2008, 3 years later. But the problem is that they didn't have enough time to finish the game. So Capcom was like, yo, we are not gonna give you enough staff members. We're not gonna give you all the means you have. This is the budget, and we expect the game to sell around this, right? So they did what they could. It had superb gameplay. It was so deep that you could play like 1,000 hours and still not master it. But the catch was that they didn't make enough levels. So at the halfway point, because in DMC4 you play as Nero, you play half the game. Wow, great design, monsters for Nero and all. And then, boom, you have to play the game in reverse, but as Dante. But legit reverse. Like if you went from A to B with Nero, you have to go from B to A. With the same enemies, same bullshit, but a different character. The characters were fine, but the levels were aggravating and not adapted for Dante. Big break. Until 2013, DMC Devil May Cry reboot, the death of the series. That's what they thought. Change in devs, now it's Ninja Theory, not Capcom. But it's supported by Hideaki Itsuno. He was supervising as a supervising director. Every Devil May Cry was 60 FPS. This one came out at 30 FPS, looks very different, gameplay is different, story is disgusting, like people are, this is not my Dante, this is not, you know, and no Devil May Cry after that until 2019. 11 years after Devil May Cry 4, the team reassembled. They saw that the industry didn't progress much in that character action game genre, and they wanted to bring back the lost sensations and pave the way forward. So that was his career. What do you guys think about my man Hideaki Itsuno?
It's a fun career.
I think it's great that he had wanted to do something with it. So many of the games and developers sometimes don't have any artistic vision or clear gaming objectives. They're going for the money.
Yep.
Shout out to EA Games.
Shout outs to them. I
So
piss
it's nice
on their
to see
face and spit on their fucking head.
We don't have kind words for the people working at EA. We love, we don't have anything against the people, obviously.
The devs, the workers, nah, I have no problem, man.
It's only a matter of decisions and vision. Like, what do you want to do with the talent that you have? But yeah, so I think it's nice that they had something in mind, that they had an artistic view. This, I respect that. Unfortunately, I think got an hint that maybe this is not the game for us. It's not like our type of game, and maybe that unfortunately it's maybe not the type of game for gamers today. I think a lot of people played Devil May Cry and enjoy it, but it's not like the mainstream game. It's not the popular game. So even though I'm not very fond of the game, I think it would be sad if all this artistic vision and all this passion would go to waste, and that this would be like the last time we would see this type of game in the industry. So I have a lot of respect for his career and the way that he had a vision for his game and he did what he wanted to do. Even though I'm not a big fan of the final product.
Yeah. And I just want to complete, right? Because we talked about the director, but we have to talk about the senior producer, who is Mishiteru Okabe. He's the guy that's the director's boss. So he's up Hideaki Itsuno in terms of hierarchy, and he's involved somehow in the creative process, but he mostly manages the team with budget and progress, right? And finally, every time we heard Satoru Iwata for Nintendo games as executive producer. Executive producer in gaming. Well, for Devil May Cry 5, it's Jun Takeuchi. But in gaming, essentially, they just give the okay to make the game. They just say, oh, that project? Yes, here's the money. You can make it, go. That's it. They have absolutely zero creative involvement or anything. And Jun joined Capcom in 1991 as a background designer. He worked as a producer and he climbed up to the head of Capcom Dev Division 1. And now, like I said, he gives the okay to make games. That's about it. Crazy, huh?
Yep. Very special way of doing things. But yeah, I think we can, maybe accelerate a bit on every mission, because we still got some to. But I mean, there's some missions that are very short, but maybe you can accelerate on the last few ones so we can go on with our
You have
thoughts.
the notes. You just have to go ahead.
So what mission are we? We are at mission 12, right?
Yeah, Yamato. After having beat the knight and get the motorcycle, who do we play?
Yeah, we're going to play again with Dante. So, it's going to be the same boss. We're going to play against I don't want to say his name. It's the big devil sitting on his chair.
Yeah, Urizen.
All right, that's his name at that point of the story. Wink, wink. So we play again against him, and it's basically the same fight. I don't have much to say about this level.
Is there anything that
Um,
happens story-wise between leaving the place with the motorcycle? We climb up the tree. That's it.
Yeah, basically, because I honestly I didn't notes story wise. It's more about the gameplay and my experience playing as different characters. So I don't know where exactly we're in the story, but I think like the timelines are almost meeting. So we're just going to play as Dante when Nero faces the character and loses. So now we enter as Dante.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the structure. Wait a second. Yamato was mission 12, right?
I don't know. I don't have the name of the. I just have the numbers.
So yeah, mission 12. It's when Dante wakes up. After spending like a month recuperating, Dante heads for the Demon King. He crushes like I think he comes through as his transformed form and saves Nero, right?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay.
I just know that the timeline is crossing with Nero. This is what's happening, story wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. I don't know if you have anything else to say on this.
Well,
I'm ready to go.
yes, mission 12 Yamato. We start at Dante's home, the place where it all began. The plot of the story, where the traumatic event where he lost his family, his home, his brother, his mother, everything in his life, and yeah, how his path diverged from his brother's path, and he found a way to accept his devil heritage and become more powerful by fusing with his sword. Because yes, in Devil May Cry, stabbing yourself makes you more powerful.
Yep. I guess again it's ridiculous, but since it makes you a lot more powerful, I kind of enjoy the mechanic.
Yep, and you gotta charge it by staying pressed L1, like you feed the purple George, the devil trigger, into that red George. I find it cool.
Yeah.
And it's super powerful, lots of damage. So yeah, mission 13. Kyle, do you want to say something about mission 12?
No, not much. There was like you guys said. There was pretty cool with the new power and shit there.
Did you guys use it much, or it was just one and done?
Oh yeah, I used it a lot.
I had it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite move as Sin Devil Trigger Dante?
Smash the Y button.
Wasn't there like a spin attack there?
There was a lock on plus forward plus attack. You would drill through.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite.
And then you had like both gun plus attack, and he like does a sick ass cinematic combo and explodes everything in the end. Never used it. It was pretty cool too, that one. You also have the loose. It's like he becomes a fucking butterfly. He spreads his wings and shoots tons and tons of missiles. Like he has so many moves, bro. Dante is OP. So yeah, we can move on to mission 13.
Oh yeah. So mission 13, you're given a choice, the 3 characters, and I can talk about it right now, but I think that it's a good idea if you can choose between the 3 characters. But since you're going to play all of them anyway, I don't know why they give us this choice.
This was a online co-op mission where, as you were fighting, you had your friends fighting also.
I see. Well, I wished we had more opportunity to choose the character that we wanted to play, because as we'll see in the next mission, you have to play V again.
Which character did you guys pick for Mission 13, Three Warriors?
I picked Nero because I really enjoy grapple with Nero, and I think that Dante being too powerful, I didn't like it as much. I think it's amazing because when he's in the when he stabs himself and he has the, I don't know what's it called. I call it the Avatar state.
The Avatar state, yes. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, but so when he goes into the Avatar, he's so powerful. So I really like that. But I got used to Nero, so I like to play with him, and I love tweaking with the arms and using the grapple. So yeah, never get tired of
Can
playing
we
with
just
Nero.
say that Mission 13 has the cringiest thing in the fucking world?
Which one?
When he gets the cowboy hat, I had to look away. I took my earphones off. I was cringing so much when he was dancing like Michael Jackson there.
It was so good. What the fuck, Kyle?
That was the most cringe shit I've ever seen in my life.
I was like,
hate-
oh, those moves, that animation, it's so crisp.
Yeah.
Oh my dude, it's a childish view of and what's stylish. This is what this game feels to me. It's like they try, but they don't know.
I think they know very well.
Oh my god, who can look at that and go like, "Oh my god, this is so sharp." Oh, I love those moves.
Millions
voice
of
acting.
people.
No. But if it was like a, I don't know, Deadpool game, where it's like, oh, we break the fourth wall, and there's none of that. It's like the whole game, like, quote unquote, takes itself seriously, and then out of nowhere, this shit is just like, and it's not even an Easter egg. It would have been fine if it was an Easter egg. That shit is I hated it.
Oh, I loved it, bro. And that hat is the most OP weapon in the game. You can trade money for usage, right? But you have a move if you go into the store and buy it, where you can concentrate orbs to form meteorites. Straight up meteors. And if you charge it like to level 3, it almost one-shots any boss in the game. But it costs like 500,000 orbs.
Okay.
So if you're someone like you, right? I think you would have really enjoyed how short the fights and how easy the fights are with that hat.
Okay, I guess we'll give it a try and see how it goes. But yeah, I tried it once. I didn't really like it, so I just stick to my shotgun and my two
Ebony
normal
and
guns.
Ivory. I love those names also.
Yeah.
So yeah, V at the start of the mission, he reveals to
Alright.
Trish that he's part of Dante's brother. We learn that Virgil used the power of Yamato, the sword that he stole from fucking Nero, right? To cleave himself in two, separating his human and demon sides into two distinct beings. So yeah, that was kind of crazy, don't you think?
Again, the story is in my head at this point. I'm looking at it, but I don't. I'm very a unattentive spectator.
Yeah, you're like, okay, let's go to the next mission.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah.
So yeah, essentially, Virgil as a character, right? He's the twin brother of Dante, but yeah, his mother didn't reach him, so he thought his family left him alone to die versus the demons, and he saved himself in extremis, and from then on, he understood that in life, nothing is more important than power. And he found that his human heritage was causing him those pesky emotions and weakness, and he never wants to feel that shit ever again. So he is going to rule by force. And he's like, bro, I gotta get that gay ass femboy out of my body, and he stabs himself, and V comes out, and he becomes a pure demon. So, would you have stabbed yourself to get V out of you, Jackie?
I would have. I would have.
So yeah, I think Kyle would have also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we can move on to the next mission.
I want to say though for mission 14 that at this point in the game, I was thinking this is by far the worst mission.
It's called
At this point.
Diverging Point V.
Oof, a very hard mission. You know, sometimes the week you were asking me, "Oh, how is it going with Devil May Cry? Where are you? Where are you in the game? Is it going well? Are you progressing and everything?" And honestly, I think the mission. No, I don't think. I am sure 100% that all the responsibility of why I was being so slow at finishing this game is on the V mission. That every time I was, facing a V mission, I was like, all right, I have to stop. I have to gather a bit of energy, and I'll come back with more energy to finish this level. Because when you finish a level with Dante or Nero and you go through a level with V, it's just too much to bear. So you have to take a pause and come back later with a little bit more energy to finish the level.
It's too taxing emotionally, physically, everything.
Oh my god, it was. And this one with the boss, you have like 3 bosses. And it's
you had to choose well, bro. Which one of your pets did you choose? Please don't tell me.
Just thinking about it.
Please don't tell me you choose the bird. Please don't tell me you choose the bird.
I choose the bird for the one. No, look. This is how I did it. I choose the bird for the one that was, that you use the grapple, like level 3, I think.
Yeah.
Because the fucking panther doesn't reach, and the fucking golem is too fucking slow to get one hit. So I had no fucking choice. I had to take the fucking bird and spam the fucking square button for like 15 minutes. And as I was smashing, I was like, this is not gameplay. This is not gameplay. And I was getting angry and more angry. And then you beat it because that's the only way to do it. And then I took the panther and I went against the troll, like the stupid slow
Goliath.
And then I beat it, and it was okay because you have the panther, so it takes it easier because of course the bird can reach the first boss because it's going fast, but with so little damage that it takes so much time, so you feel like you're losing your time and you're losing.
But you could choose the order, right?
Yeah.
And you choose the bird first.
No, at first I took the what's it called? I took the panther to go against the flying shit.
But it doesn't work like that. It's panther against golem, no?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I was like,
against Goliath, or I don't know, man. I'm so confused. But at least you didn't pick the bird first, because just shooting with the bird is too much, bro.
No, I on my second play because I died. No, I didn't die. No, I let it kill. I let it kill me, and then I came back with the bird, and I was just like smashing it.
Oh, so, okay, yeah, I see. Yes.
Because I was like, the panther is not reaching, so to shoot it. Anyway, so this is my experience for Mission 14. I thought it was the worst, but the game still has surprised us.
Oh my god, that was not the worst for you. Holy crap!
That was not the worst.
Holy crap! I cannot wait. To me, it was then that I understood that sadly, one trend in modern gaming will never leave us alone. It's those forced walking sections. To me, that was the worst part of the mission. Not the boss rush, not V, not the fact that he's weak in the plot. So in the game, they force you to walk, and I'm like, nah, bro, that can't be it. Please, no. Please, no, I don't want to spend more time than I need to just walking around. Let me just get this over quick. So, yeah, I was really sad.
I don't like these sections, and it's not only video games, movies. I don't like these sections where the character is weak and you have to see him being weak. I feel like it's not the story that I want to be told, but it's just a personal preference. So when you exactly as you said, when you play a slow character like that, and it's the weakest character being even weaker, so it's just cherry on.
You're like, please die. Just please
Yeah.
go away.
Oh yeah. So yeah, mission 15. So in mission 15, there was one of my best boss fight. It's a two-headed woman attached to a baby bird.
It was amazing.
I really liked that boss because you could use the ragtime arm to slow the teleporting attacks when he
Yep.
was going through a portal, and you could slow it and strike it. I really liked that boss fight. One of the best boss fight in the whole game. I really liked it.
It's a mission that ties V's, because at the end of V, he's weak and he's gonna get beat up by that demon, but Nero comes through. And now, Diverging Point Nero mission 15, you play Nero, you progress and reach that point. And he gives you that ragtime arm that I don't know where he finds it from, but he gives it to you. And if you stay pressed and release and break the arm, it's not just a bubble of space-time that gets slowed down. It's the whole fucking game, the whole screen except Nero. And for a prolonged amount of time. So what people do in speedruns is that they weaken the boss, and when she goes like into the animation when the bird goes down, they stop everything around and begin to fucking destroy the shit out of that boss until it dies before it could even get up. So yeah,
that's nice.
It was a pretty fun mission, not gonna lie. I kind of liked evading the spikes. I remember the
oh yes
I think
nice.
Did it have that platforming section with the rocket punch?
Yes.
Yo, that was really cool. You launch the punch and then jump on it and then surf. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I don't think we're talking about the same thing here.
Oh, maybe it's a different mission, but I really liked doing that with Nero. So yeah, next mission?
Mission 16. So here the boss is Cerberus.
Oh, King Cerberus. Yep.
Yeah.
Because Cerberus makes an apparition in Devil May Cry 3 and he dies. So it's not Cerberus, it's King Cerberus. Yeah.
So so you're playing with Dante. Again, going to the Avatar state is very nice. To beat the shit out of boss. And I don't have much to say about this mission, honestly. It was a nice boss fight. It was a good challenge. I like that the boss had different attacks.
Different elements?
Yeah, also different elements, you're right, like fire.
And the weapon itself reflects on that. It's a super cool weapon to use. Did you
yes, afterwards you get the weapon.
The nunchucks.
Yeah, I really like that.
What did you think was the coolest thing about it?
Was that you can switch there? So I really like that.
Fire, electricity, ice. Yeah, so that's it for our Diverging Point missions. We played with the 3 characters and now we move on.
Yeah. So then we go to mission 17. So mission 17 is just boss battle against
Urizen.
I always forget his name because
yes, it's called mission 17 Brothers.
Yeah, because at this point we know that Urizen anymore. It's Virgil.
And V for what?
And
you already know. Devil May Cry 5, but written in Roman numerals. It's V again. What? It's Virgil. It's Virgil the game, bro. So yeah, we are. Where are we? We are in an illusion of the boy's home. It reflects the the happiest place in Virgil's psyche. And yeah, it's an illusion, right? And Dante tries to explain to him that her mother, their mother, tried to reach him, but she couldn't in time, and that she loved him, right? Shit like that that seems so simple, but if you don't know, can fucking twist your vision of reality and leave you in a very weird space. Especially in a
Yeah.
world with demons trying to kill your ass, you know? So, yeah, he's like, yo, don't talk to me about this shit. I'm gonna kill your ass because my vision of life, justice, how we should live, right, is in contradiction with yours. And until you draw your last breath, I'm gonna try and kill your ass because you're the only one that's gonna oppose me on that. And they fight. That's what happens.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, before they fight, Urizen gets that fruit that the Qliphoth created with the blood of humanity, that concentrated those miserable lives into something of value. And yeah, he was supposed to become the most powerful being in the world, but Dante showed him that there is more than one way to become powerful. And he entered the avatar state.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Then afterwards, Mission 18.
Oh
Mission
boy.
18. This is
Awakening.
where this is my least favorite mission of them all.
Oh yeah, yeah, my bad. I have to stop you. Before the mission 18, we see that V is no more, and Urizen is no more also. V uses that power of his with his cane to fuse back with Urizen into Virgil. What did you guys think of that moment slash reveal, and what ensued?
Not much.
Not
Not
much.
much.
And he was like, yeah, man, I really like Nero, get the fuck away from here. You're just dead weight, right? And then Nero was always like, I'm not dead weight, Dante, you fucking old ass motherfucker. I'm useful. Don't tell me that shit. And then he's like, I can go and let you do this. And then he's like, why not? Because he's your father. What a fucking funny scene. That delivery was so funny to me.
It's I mean all the twists and turns in the story of just I believe weak storytelling. There's no stakes. There's no purpose. I believe it just feels empty. So whenever you have like a plot twist like that, it doesn't have any weight. And the
It,
famous it's your father. It's your father.
yes,
This plot twist. It's too
overdone.
much context.
Yeah, but you know, the what they were basing it on was the history behind this series, right? So if you don't know who Dante is, who Virgil is, it's kind of tough to get moved by something like that because it's cliche and it doesn't make like, I don't know, it's not super effective until you understand what Nero's life was about until then, right? He's like he's born with no family. He's always searched like his father for more power, but for different reasons. Nero, his quest for power is to save what's near and dear to him, his family, right? And he had no family. He had to choose his family, which was his girlfriend, right? And yeah, now that he knows that he has an uncle and a father, and they're gonna kill each other. Nah, bro, he can't let that happen. It's like he just discovered he had a family, and now they're ripping that away from him. So that's the Nero interest. And then Dante, right? He's like, bro, my brother is completely out of his mind. I have to stop him. And his brother is like, yo, Dante, he doesn't understand shit. Power is what is important in this life. And if he comes and tries to stop me, I'm gonna have to kill him. So yeah, that's the situation. Mission 18, you have the V animals, right? Griffin, Shadow, and Nightmare.
Anger intensifies.
Yeah,
Oof.
Griffin, Shadow,
Worst
and
mission.
Nightmare represent the traumas that Virgil had from his young age to about now, right? Where he lived in the demon world and he was enslaved by demons and yeah, he saw a lot of terrible shit. So all the traumas and terrible memories are inside those creatures. And yeah, Dante goes ahead and completely destroys those creatures.
Completely, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
What do
You
you
know,
mean? Yeah.
when we in mission 14, when you have to choose them to fight the bosses, it was like a pain in the. But fighting individually the creatures is even worse because okay, first you go after the okay,
Yeah.
and you're chasing it and it's flying, so you have to jump and get it, and it just moves a little when you go for it, so you miss it, and then it just evades you, goes, and when you succeed a combo, it falls down and goes into like the small bubble
Yeah.
where it's
The ball
unvulnerable,
state, yeah.
and then you have to fucking wait for it to recharge.
Ah! Wait for it to recharge?
Yeah,
No, you had to fucking destroy it in the bubble.
yeah. This is what. Yeah, no, you strike it and it doesn't kill it right away. You have to.
Oh no, you mean you do the most damage you can and then it reforms and then you kill it again and then you finish it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was like, my man waited on the boss. How long did it
No,
take
no,
for him
no.
to win the fight?
So yeah, after that, Panther, and it's the same thing, and then
Golem, the
I
nightmare.
really hate when you're in the middle of a fight and then they just stop you with cutscene, and then the enemy runs off and you have to chase them.
Yeah.
This is like, who's responsible for this? Who like thought like this is a good idea? We'll do this.
Yeah, they're like, yo, he's gonna familiarize beating up the ass of the griffin, then beating up the ass of the panther, and then
Oh my god.
when everything is thrown at him at once, he will know how to deal with it.
Yeah, and then you strike the bird down and you strike the panther. Colossal is not there, and then they go into their bubbles, and then you start to strike them. Colossal comes back and he revives them and start again. I,
Yeah, so
it
what
got on my
happened?
nerve real bad.
What happened with me was that I was focusing on destroying the shadow and griffin, but when I saw that the health bar that mattered was nightmares, the fucking golem, I completely switched strategies. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to bring him down into his ball form and then transform and do the most damage I can on his ass. And the most damaging thing we have, except for that avatar state you love, is Balrog Punch ignited while in Swordmaster. You do back lock on, back plus Swordmaster button. And he does like that. Oh, super powerful Shoryuken that does disgusting amount of damage, and you can do it twice. It takes a long time to wind up, but if you manage to get the space with kill the other two and then do it on him, you can end the fight super quick. Or the hat, right? The hat with the meteorites, it would kill him like almost instantly. Moral of the story, the better you are as a player to do a lot of damage in a short period of time, the better you have a time to versus those guys. Because yeah, it's tough. They're regen, they go away. You have to fight some more.
Yeah, so yeah, very very hard to do missions in terms of patience.
Yeah, you didn't have to be patient, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, it was getting on my nerves. It's just I don't like to chase after the enemy
Yeah, and you
when the
didn't use
enemies.
that trickster teleport either, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, so I'm so sad about that. I'm like, I don't know, should I have like spoiled them and showed them all those tricks and things that make life so easier?
Nah, because I mean, at one point you have to play the game for yourself.
That's true. That's true.
Mm. But yeah, I have this note took. It's just that I think it would be nice if when you get a skill and you want to try it out in the void, you can go and try it after you unlocked it.
Oh, yes.
I think that would be a good thing. Because at one point I was like, I would like to try this, but you couldn't go into the void and try it. So
You have to go into the void first, like
Mhm.
separately, and then click
Mhm.
skill list, look, and then
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think it would be a good addition to put it, in
straight
game.
into the shop menu. Even if you
Mhm.
buy it, you can try it again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was all for mission 18. Afterwards, you've got mission 19 and 20, which are kind of blended together.
Yeah.
Just when you do one, like for
Which
the
one
next
did
one,
you find harder than the other?
the one with Dante.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too. I
because
thought that Dante's version was a lot harder than Nero's.
yeah, because I mean Nero was too overpowered at that point. Like it was incredible. He was way too powerful.
Yep. But what did you think about the final fight? First between the brothers, and then when Nero intervenes.
Yeah, like it was harder with Dante, but it was I preferred the fight. I think it was nice to evade the attacks, and it was kind of the boss in the desert in Breath of the Wild, that rush attack and then the
Yes.
sword strike. So yeah, I liked the boss fight. I played maybe a bit old school. No, I wouldn't say that. Not old school, but I played it uh, maybe in archaic way where I would just try to evade, then strike, then jump and strike. I really like to play this way.
And I think
So
it's
yeah,
one of the best ways to fight Virgil for like someone that doesn't know the game by heart. It's a very good
yeah,
strategy.
yeah. So I really enjoyed that. My best boss fights in the whole game.
You think it's the
Uh,
best?
no, not the best. It's one of the best.
Did you like his moves? Did you find that it
Yeah.
had personality?
Yes, I really liked it. To me, the fact that he was in human form and not in a, also the lighting, how it was, way brighter, and you could see the colors, the moves, and he was, not, not like it was not like that he was telegraphing his attacks, but you had a hint where he was going to strike, so you
Hmm.
could, uh, be more engaged into the combat
And
and
you see
to,
how he never like seems like he's dropping a sweat. He seems just like Dante when you're playing, right? Like,
Mhm.
yo, Dante is so powerful. He shits on the enemies. He doesn't seem like in much difficulty. But then you are
Mhm.
facing kind of that because it's your brother, right?
Yeah. Well, this is I think the problem with that fight is the context that's behind it. It's you don't feel the stakes, as I said before, with the revelation in the story. But here it feels empty and it doesn't feel rewarding to beat him. It just feels like they're flexing. Both of them are flexing, having
Yeah.
this fight just for the fun of it. So it doesn't have this big conclusion, and the fact that they're not becoming allies, but they go in the same camp at the end, you know they're on the same side.
Yeah.
It just feels very anticlimactic.
You
I
gotta know
really
that it
didn't like
was like since what, 2005 or
it.
4, that it's been like really like hell, like difficult, like they were killing each other's, not much love there, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
it's
but then
it's
why
the
stop?
story. Why? is because of Nero and V. V didn't stop to exist. He's still in Virgil, and he learned a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
So it changed him from the inside. And for the first time, Virgil in the series was contemplating maybe not being right or not having the absolute answer. When he said, on that day, if our places were switched, would you have my life and I have yours? Like those kinds of shit, he was like, nah, bro, that don't matter. I need power. I need to dominate.
Yeah, well, you know what I think about all this? I'm fine with redemption arc, fine with everybody not being a villain at the end, but you have to deserve it. And to me, like nothing was deserved in
Nah,
that story.
he still killed a lot of people, bro. He
Yeah,
fucked it up.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is he sorry for the people that he killed at the beginning, like the innocent lives that were taken? I don't think he is. So, to me, like this guy deserved to die, and the fact that joining forces with him at the end, it's just so unsatisfying. I don't know what Kyle thinks about that
I can't wait to
about that
hear him.
ending.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah, I'm still there. Sorry, can you just repeat your question?
Yeah,
What
what
did
do
you
you think
think of
about
the
the
boss
ending?
fight? What did you think of the ending?
Yeah.
I actually liked it. I found that the beginning of I didn't like the father shit there. That was a bit cringy, but if not, I enjoyed it. I found it was I like the boss fight.
Bro, just like in Star Wars, it's so cool.
Would you?
So cool. It's
I
his
don't know. I
father.
don't know, bro. I don't know if in Star Wars, Luke says "fuck you" to his to his father, bro. It was so. I was taken aback. I was like, did he just say "fuck you" to his dad?
But me, it's just the reveal of the father crap. It was just like, oh yeah, I feel it. What the fuck? You feel it?
Feel what?
But that's what they say, no? They said like, yeah, I had a feeling that he was your father.
Yeah, yeah. He says like back in DMC4 when I first met you, Nero, I had a feeling that you were the son of.
And where did he get that information? Took it out of his ass.
No, because of Nero's arm, the shit that he ripped off in the beginning. It's a demon arm, and there aren't many human demons in the world, you know?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I just found it. It was just like, instead of me being like, oh my god, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't have any reaction, but I did like the reveal, like that V was his brother or Virgil,
Yeah.
whatever. That I actually went like, ooh, that's cool. This is the story I wanted. Not the beginning. I found the story was weak. The ending was better.
People say that Virgil in what is it? 2 missions steals the show. Are you
He what? Sorry.
he stole the show in 2 missions. Are you like in that camp? Do you think that Virgil was superb?
No, but I did like, I know it's not the ending there, but the fight at the farm.
Versus Urizen, yeah?
Yeah, I like that. And the fight at the end, I liked it. It was I found it epic, where it was, your two brothers fighting on the top of the
Clive
world.
of Tree, yup.
Yeah, so it just seemed very anime-ish, like the final battle, the final thing there.
Yep.
But yeah, and when he comes back, Nero and everything with his new look,
Yes.
I enjoyed it there.
You guys did that little like in-game move cinematic where you block his sword strike and then stab him with it.
I think so.
It's
I don't
like
remember.
it's a kind of a mini cinematic in the fight, right? You use that R2, I think. I don't know if it's the same button for us. And he like uses that special move. And then essentially they fight around, and then Nero takes Yamato, the sword, the katana, and then he stabs his dad with it. No, his dad stabs him, and then he pulls it out and stabs his dad. And the exchange of words is, "Now are you going to acknowledge me?" And then Virgil says, "Acknowledge your strength or your existence." And then I was like, oh my god. This is the type of guy that would absolutely not pay child support.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think of all the voice actors, maybe Virgil was. I didn't really think about it, but I think maybe he was the best one. So maybe that's what people think, that stole the show. That he did a good job, and his personality, his detachment from the conflict and everything. Maybe it was a good thing that most people enjoyed.
So yeah, in
But
the end, both of them, like Nero manages to stop his only family from killing itself. So they go ahead into the underworld, cut the tree, and stay trapped in there for who knows how long, right? Hey, we got a new follower.
what?
I'm telling you, man, I think somebody just subscribed or followed. So shoutouts to
Really?
you. I hope that you type in the chat so that I can see. But
To your channel or how?
yes, to my channel. But I have the link in the description so that people can go ahead and subscribe
Oh,
to
that's very nice.
the
Well,
podcast channel.
congratulations. I don't know if he's listening right now. Congrats.
So yeah, essentially, yeah, he saved his family. They go into the underworld. They cut the tree down and stay trapped and fight for what it seems like to be an eternity, and they really enjoy it. What did you guys think of that little conclusion of the game?
So weak. So weak. So unnecessary. So anticlimactic. And
And in
yeah.
the end, what kind of taste did it leave on in your mouth? The boss fight, the ending cinematic.
Um. What taste? Nothing. It felt empty and unimportant,
Wow,
vague. It's the void.
that's crazy. That's
No,
crazy.
I did enjoy the ending, and you know what? I can give them a, let's say, a clap. Congratulations. I really like the credits where you got to still fight and play and everything.
Yup,
I
with new
think,
powers, right?
yeah, I liked it. I liked it because it's just I fucking hate credits. Just looking like, yeah, sure, congrats to these people. They put in years of their lives doing this, but I don't give a shit, right? And
Thousands of hours, blood, sweat, and tears.
yeah, so I like that. And the end credit scenes, I didn't understand much of it.
The end was in hell, right? Where there
No,
were
no, but yeah, but I'm just before with the fucking the two girls there.
Trish and Lady.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take over the shop.
Yeah, cause it's called Devil May Cry, right? And
Yeah,
it's a shop where people call to say, "Yo, in my neighborhood, there's some nasty demons that are killing people and sucking the blood. So please, in exchange of $500, can you save my family?" And they're like, "Yeah, bro, coming up." Demon hunters. That's why the difficulty is named that, right?
I see. Well, all right. So I think
Jackie,
yeah.
I don't know, man. You seem like you have a lot to say.
I mean, we can go on for about this game, but like we went I think we gave a fair critic of it, and now we're going for what, for how much time? Just tell me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. 3
Almost 3 hours.
hours.
Yeah, you see. So I think we can wrap it up, and
We should.
because at the start I was thinking this topic, this game is going to intersect with the topic that we had in mind. I want to speak about, what is the place of video games today? What is the place of video in video games? What is the place of game in video games? So this game, we're not done talking about it. We're going to talk about it some more when we're going to, debate and discuss
And compare it.
the choices. Yeah, to compare it to other games. So it's going to come back. But yeah, I think we should go closing statements now.
Okay. I always like to give marks. I'd give it I hesitate between 2. Either a 5 or a 6.
Nice.
So I there was some aspects that I loved. I loved a lot of the bosses I liked.
Yeah.
There's some bosses that I fucking hated.
Which ones? The
well,
V
the-
ones.
Yeah, the V ones I hated. I didn't like although I liked you fucking final beating the fucking chicken and the panther. I hated
Yes.
them, but I didn't like that boss fight.
Either, okay.
But I liked many boss fights. I liked the combat. I found it was fun. It was cool, especially with Dante. As you guys may have noticed, he was my favorite. And I find if you delete V from the game, I think it would be so much better. You delete a bit of the cringy shit that I don't like, but look, to each their own. Some people like it. But if not, I just found that it was a okay game. It's not really my kind of game. The last game I've played of that kind, I think, was like God of War 3. So, as you can see, it's been a long time.
And which one did you prefer, this or God of War?
God of War 3. But that it would be a bit unfair to say that because I grew up with God of War, right? I played God of War 1, 2, and 3, and I even played the PSP game, right? So
Yeah.
So it was just I was much more invested in the story of God of War than I was for Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Although I think if I hadn't watched the 1 to 4 explanation, I would have been even more lost and I would have hated it even more. So I think me watching that video saved my I think if I wouldn't have seen it, it would have been a 2 or 3 for me.
Thanks, son. Story is so important.
But you know me. I love story.
Yeah.
It's something that it's very important for me, and I think was weak stuff like Jackie said. Level design, I thought it was weak. I really liked Dante. Like I said, I liked even if his over the top style and everything. That was cool. I even liked having a rating at the end of the mission because it made you always want to go, okay, well, I gotta be here. What can I do? What when I was doing this, I was getting less good marks. So let me cut that out. Let me try this out, and blah blah blah. So I think that like those aspects, and like I said, I probably won't be replaying this game. Just for the fact that it's not my style of game. Not that it was in its genre. It was probably good. Even it's just that there was a lot of little stuff that bugged me, and some big stuff like V. But if not, I like that I got to play a different kind of game, even though I disliked it. Not disliked, that's a bit of a word, but I liked it least. I still think it's a good thing for me to discover new genres of video games, not just stuck in my old same ones that I love. So like I said, I think it's just not my style, but if not, there's some aspects that I like.
Thanks for giving us your time and attention to download it to play through it and to give a review. That's a lot of commitment for someone that's not even attracted to these types of games. So, thank you. And if I had to say something, is that if you want to experience Son of Sparta difficulty without V, you can play as Virgil. Virgil doesn't have the cinematics because he's not part of that story, right? So it skips, and he's Virgil. Mission 1 to the last mission, you play as him. No V. And yeah, it's a very fun time. Completely different character, plays very differently from everyone else. And yeah, if you guys liked his animations and all how he looked in the last couple missions, it looks like that and very satisfying. What about you, Jackie?
Well, if I had to give it a mark, I think out of 10, I think it would be a.
What did you say? I think you lagged.
Oh, I liked it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so if I had to give 10, I would give.
You lagged again. I can't hear you.
For real? That's so weird because I can hear you fine.
Yeah, go ahead. If you had to give it a mark.
Yeah, out of 10, I would give it a 4.
Okay, we finally heard it.
I was like, the second time I was like, no.
Now you dropped.
Oof. Oh, for real?
Now you're back. You're back.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. Because I hear you fine on my end. So.
Yo, internet. I swear, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a struggle.
Just like the stream when it broke.
Yeah, just at the start. So yeah, things happen. That's how it is.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
Weak ass story.
I don't give a fuck about the story. Doesn't, it doesn't play a part in that. It's just the level with V and the conclusion, like how the levels are made. I don't know. To me, a lot of this game is playing V too much. Like I agree with Kyle, the missions shouldn't be there. Then most of the levels, I would just delete them. I just like the boss fights, and some of the boss fights I found interesting. So to me, it's not my type of game, but I found that there were a lot of unpleasant level designs and choices that were made. Discussed it throughout the whole podcast. So yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, basically that's why it's that's where my mark comes from. If I have to look at all the games of what I've played in my life.
That's really good. To me, this game deserves, like, if we are honest, right? Like, no being too generous or anything, it deserves a 9.5 because a 10 means that V doesn't exist, but he does. So
no,
that's
man,
0.5 out of the game.
Mark, I can't believe a 9.5.
It's one of the greatest gaming experiences I've ever had.
We'll have to come back to it because there's no way.
Why? Because of the gameplay. It was... I don't know, how many games can you play training mode for hours and be like, oh my god, this is so fun?
But wait, just one question though.
It's
you said
good.
you didn't like V's part, but V's part is almost like a quarter of the game.
Still doesn't count because you have Dante that counterbalances it. Like think of it, right? If V is -5, but Dante is 10, you good, bro. And then you have Nero, who is also positive. You add another 5 there.
I think your math is not correct, but
yeah, it doesn't work.
Nah, it works. It works.
We'll check it another time, anyways.
Yeah, no, I mean we cannot go on like this for hours. Start the debate now, but yeah, well, you'll have to check your math on this one. But yeah,
next week's homework.
All right. So next week, I think you'll be done with
Oh no, he dropped. You'll be done?
With Cora.
Yes, yes.
Yes, all right. So because I think I'm the next one homework, but since I want to wait a bit because we've done a big podcast now, I think next week we can go on Cora and your experience and maybe a surprise topic.
Cora plus surprise topic. I hope you guys heard that well, because my man has been having some very difficult internet problems. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
yeah,
everything
you
is
don't know.
perfect.
It's okay, man. We're gonna stop it here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for playing, Jackie. Also, I thanked Kyle, but I think especially you. You never played these games, so it's been something very new for you.
Oh yeah, a whole new experience. I mean, of course, at the end I didn't like it. It's not my type of game, but you know, it's always nice to try stuff, and it's better to try stuff than to just stick to one game and to not know what you're missing or what you're glad you're missing.
Glad you're missing. Okay, everybody. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.